All right.
All right, just before we go live here, I'm just going to test the sound. Everybody with a sound check?
Sound check, sound check, sound check.
Testing.
Hey, how's it going?
Cool.
Man,
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Ace's Legacy. We got a full house tonight. Just going to zoom out in and introduce everybody here. So, to my left, we got Henny. Those of you who've met Henny before have done a few Aces streams and also
Yep.
does Battle Community. Say hi to everybody.
Battle community and most of our Fox events. How does it going, folks? Thank you for coming out and joining us tonight. I know there is some kind of big sports ball match out there, so I appreciate you showing up with us tonight. I am just the kind of person that the closest thing I've ever come to a linebacker is a clan mech, so...
Of course, on the other side of the table, we got the one and only Jesse K.
Hi, folks. Good to see you again, especially those of you who are watching us live because of aforementioned sports ball game. We all know the real action's happening right here at Focht.
Last but not least, we got Joe Becker. Joe's been on BattleCom with us numerous times, almost every episode, I believe, and also here on Friday Night Aces when we used to do it on Friday. I think you did it once
once or twice. Yeah, I was around.
So
Yeah, good.
welcome in. Joe is going to be a regular here with us as well. So what do we got going on tonight, guys? I'm going to pass the mic over to Jesse and Joe.
Absolutely. Let's get right into it. Those of you who joined us last week know the score. You can see we're still in sort of the same place. This is New Avalon. It's 3060s. It is the Blakist invasion. When we were here last week, the Mech 7, which you will learn more about, were holding off a Blakist advance. They managed to evacuate some civilians, and they're out of there, but we still got some Davian guards left in the city. So, what's happening? The Aces deck today is going to continue to be playing the Blakist, I think it's the 36th Division or the 31st, who are trying to seize control of the whole planet, but certainly at least the spaceport. We've got about half a company of Davian guards left who have survived the assault so far. Why are they here? Because there's some guns on this dropship, on this Aurora, that they want. The Davians have sort of drawn in these Blakists, and they're going to try to hold out just long enough to turn on the turrets on this puppy, at which point we can get that extra firepower onto the Blakes, and hopefully buy ourselves a little more time for the good guys to win this one. So, for today, like I said, the Aces deck is going to continue to be controlling the Blakists, so
Okay.
Paul and Henny are going to be in charge of that. Those of you who have watched before get the idea that the Aces deck is the new AI system developed by Lynnvander Studios and Josh Dirksen. We'll go more into how those work shortly, but in short, Henny is going to be handling a lot of the cards. Well, between the two of you, right?
Yeah.
Be handling a lot of the cards. We've got some new cards in the studio that we haven't had in 2024. So there'll be some new behaviors you may see, and we will see how those work out.
And like we did last week, for those of you that are new watching the Aces tutorials, we do have a couple of cards that we can show up on screen. They are the anatomy cards that you will eventually see in the rule books or something close to it. We Will not be showing the actual cards on stream as of yet until we've got clarification on what we can and can't do. We'll have to read them to you. But again, the tutorial cards will be up on screen. You guys can get an example and an idea what it is. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask inside the chat. We will get right to it, and we will periodically bring up the anatomy cards, every couple of turns when there's unique things occurring. And we'll have them both for not only the actual Aces card, but also for the command deck cards as well, so you guys can get a full grasp and full scope of how the system is actually going to work. So with that said, I guess we will go to, let's divvy up our forces first.
Okay.
You guys are playing what on that side?
We've agreed to largely be cooperative with what we're doing here.
Yeah, one thing I think that separates the Federated Suns from most forces in Battletech is the armies actually know how to work together.
I feel a little bit pressured to be treated as a Federated.
As soon
Federated
as you
Suns
sat down
commander
here, you knew that was going to happen.
That's fair. That's fair.
So what do you guys?
I just thought it was the fancy Adidas tracksuits. I don't know.
What do you guys got going on over here for forces?
So, like I said, we got sort of a demi-company set up. Sorry, Joe, am I stepping on your toes?
Not particularly, but what we've got is effectively stragglers from the. I'm not sure which Davian combat group specifically. It's probably a couple, but we have a lance and a half of modest Davian forces for this era. We've got a very high tech. I don't have the sheet in front of me; it's over there.
Oh, sure.
But we've got the commander in a Caesar, which would be a Caesar, the 4R. Can you tell us about the 4R, Henny? Because it's actually it's the command mech for our side. Do you know your Caesars better than I do?
I mean, I know which ones are best with pickle juice and which ones are best extra spicy.
And that was what I was setting up for. I apologize for putting him on the spot like that.
What you folks need to know about the Caesar is that it is based on the Cataphract, the Capellan battle mech that the Davians took, and while they were actually building a different mech as a side project meant as a decoy, they decided to turn it into an actual functional combat battle mech, and it still turned out even better than the original.
It was always functional. It's just a little uglier in its Capellan Frankenmech version, where it's just kind of stitched together from various component parts of other units. There.
I actually really like the Caesar.
So the AI today is going to be. What do we got here?
Our 32nd Shadow Division here is going to be represented by a Gunslinger as the level 2 commander, a Sagittaire 8R, a Black Knight BLK9 Knight, you guys would probably know it best as the Clanbuster, a Thug 11E, basically the standard Thug all the way back to the Star League, the Night Sky NGS 6T, which is a TSM version of the Night Sky, and the Hellion A, which is going to be our missile boat support for the match.
Are we putting particular focus on its behaviors tonight, or are we just going to see how it behaves?
We're going to play the game and see
what
it does.
We're going to play the game.
Kevin,
to
touch on your comment there. I did check the chat there. We will get to the clanners. Give me a week or two. We are in the progress here at the studio of upgrading everything. You see things are a little different in here now. We've got everything done on the Battletech side pretty much. We've got a few little tricks we're going to add in still. Next weekend, I am bringing the entirety of my hobby arsenal essentially to create another studio here at Six Sides where I can do all my painting and terrain building and also some streaming for you guys to do a show to show off how to do things along with a gentleman by the name of Les Mandeville of the Underground Painters Desk, who is arguably one of the best commission painters in the country, that will be doing a lot of stuff with us. So because I don't have access to my hobby stuff here on a regular basis, I'm at the studio so much, I haven't had a chance to get a lot painted. So I need a week or two to get caught up on my hobby aspect so I can get you those cool little clan mechs on the board so we can play with them, okay?
Plus, the clanners, I mean, specifically the Ghost Bears are canonically huge football fans, so they wouldn't have come out tonight anyway.
That's true.
They're busy.
All right, so I'm rolling initiative for the Word of Blake.
All right.
And I'm going to do it for the Davos.
All right.
Blue dice.
The lucky red dice. 8 for the Word of Blake.
For the good guys.
Which one are the good guys
Hey,
again?
it's a 9.
All right, so we are 8 on 8 here?
Yes. No, we're 6 on 6.
6 on 6?
Yeah,
All
level
right.
2 versus 2 reduced lances.
AI, who's up first?
All right, so we have the Thug 11E.
All right, do you want me to
It's
do the
going to be
first
a
card?
brawler card. Go ahead if you
Okay,
like.
so the thug is operating under the brawler. What we got? Under aggressive, if the ideal red is activated and within 18. Obviously, since we are not having,
Nobody's
we're the first to move. Nothing is activated, so we're going to go from the aggressive column and we're going to move into the balanced column. I'm going to bring up the card here for you guys.
I was actually just about to ask.
Yeah.
What's an ideal red?
So ideal red would go to the command card. So the command card, if you can see the anatomy of an aces card, okay? We're going to go columns every turn starting from left to right, okay? So we start off in the aggressive column. Now, my card here is different than what you see up on the screen, but you get an idea of how we're going to go from aggressive. If we meet those conditions, then we will stay in that column and then go down to the priority sequence of indicators as to how the mech's going to behave under aggressive. If we cannot meet the conditions in the colored area to stay in aggressive, we automatically move over one column to the right and go into balanced. Okay, so now I am in the balanced column. So on my card, it's going to say to me, if there are any enemies within 30 inches.
Absolutely there are.
So absolutely they are. We meet that condition, so the card is now going to proceed to operate under the balanced column. Okay, now to touch back onto what Joe had asked about what is the ideal red. Okay, that was what I said originally on when it was in the aggressive column. The ideal red is a reference to the command card. If you look over on that side of the screen where Joe and Jesse are seating, the commander has 3 columns himself, okay, or themselves. And it gives a sequence of priority. So you would look under red and you would see what the priority target or line of sight or where the unit it wants to activate against, whether it's shooting or whether it's moving towards or gaining line of sight.
In the case of the one we just flipped up, it's not the one that's on the board, but in descending order, it would be an objective, and then followed by that, lowest TMM, most damage, and least armor.
Okay.
So it's looking to probably find a LRM boat or a direct fire boat in the backfield to try and pick and whittle down.
Okay. So now I am going to go back down to our unit card. So I'm going to take off the command card. Under balanced, we're going to go to the zone. On my card, zone within 18, we want line of sight to red. So.
All right. So red, in this instance, as I just stated, is going to be lowest TMM, most damage.
So lowest TMM would be the first within 18.
Yes.
So what's within 18 on that side? You got to take measure there?
First within 18.
I don't think there's anybody.
Doesn't look like there's anyone.
Okay,
within
so then
18.
it
What's the
zones
next
out to
zone?
30.
Zones out to 30 is going to be these folks over here.
Who's got the
The
lowest TMM?
rifleman, the enforcer, and the rifleman,
Shadowhawk.
enforcer, and the Shadowhawk.
I think out of that, it's the
Shadowhawk
enforcer.
is 2, the rifleman is 1, and the enforcer is 1.
It
So
is, yeah, it's a
TMM
tie.
is tied
So the next tiebreaker on that list?
Would be most damage.
between the rifleman and the enforcer.
Which
The
would be
enforcer
neither.
is a 3-2-0. The rifleman's a 3-3-0. So when it
Okay.
says most damage, does it give a range?
It does not. in
No,
this
then
instance.
rifleman is the one it's interested in.
Okay,
Now, I
so-
should ask one more question. Is it caring about anything being activated yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Okay, so
would indicate it.
now we are going to
Sometimes you miss those.
moving on the rifleman. The next condition is it wants ground movement, so it wants line of sight to at least one activated enemy.
Can't get.
Okay. Moving closer to its target, which would be the rifleman. Okay. And wants cover from as many enemies as possible and occupy woods if it can.
Yeah. So how much? What's the rifle? Sorry. What's the thug moving at?
So the thug is an 8-inch move in Alpha Strike.
Right. So what I'm thinking, woods as a term can apply to like any kind of cover. I think we're looking at these boxes you see up here. Now the thug can pretty much tuck himself back there, and if we assume partial cover, he's peeking out the edge, he'll still have line of sight to fire in that direction. I think that's where he's going. What do you guys think about there?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like he's going to tuck himself against the wall into the woods, so I would agree with
He's
that.
gaining partial cover from here. He's gaining partial cover from there. He's out of line of sight there, right? So
Yeah. And
he
these
se-
guys
seems,
will.
seems
run.
okay.
Okay. What's the TMM on the thug?
I'll
So
be
the-
a 1.
TMM on a thug is going to be a 1.
Pass me a 1 token, please.
All right.
Okay, so to the Fed Rats.
So, thinking much in much the same level of strategic linearity as a deck of playing cards, I really only see one move for the rifleman, and that is to get out of dodge where it can't be seen at all. It's actually quite trapped without jump jets, being only able to move 8, I think it needs to move under this, or at least towards the, what are we calling this, a rail track, as soon as it can.
That makes sense to me. Rifleman puts out damage, but he also takes it. It's a bit of a glass cannon.
And it's currently staring down possibly 3 assault mechs.
Yeah.
And if I was a rifleman, I wouldn't even be wanting to fight more than 3 light mechs.
So with the same move as the Thug, which is kind of hilarious, because the Thug, I think, is objectively just a better battle mech. Yeah, he can tuck it in there for just fine.
With the intention of moving around under there next time, which you can't see very well, but there is actually quite a bit of maneuverability beneath these structures.
Sure thing. So tell you what, I'm going to tuck him in there. You want to grab a TMM1 token?
Absolutely.
Who's next here for the AI?
Gunslinger.
All right, Gunslinger up is next on 325 on the initiative. So just to go back here, you can see on number 2, there's a number in the top right corner of each card. When you're sequencing who goes in which order for the artificial intelligence or the AI deck or the ACES deck, however you want to refer to it, that number there from low to high is the sequence you move the units through the turn. Wow. And each turn after you've done, you flip it over. That's what the backside of the card is. Not all the numbers always correspond as the same on the firing phase. Yeah. So there is some sequencing changes. Okay. So next up, or the next lowest in the initiative sequence here, is the
level 2 commander, our demi-percenter in the Gunslinger.
The Gunslinger, and this is a sniper archetype profile. So under its aggressive column, if the ideal yellow is activated and within 24. Now, before we get to that, I'm gonna mention something here. That's a rule. So, is the rifleman the only activated unit within 24 of the Gunslinger? Is it?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason I ask that is that when there is a zone or when there's a range, if there's any one unit in there, regardless of what the color is, it automatically defaults to the color priority. That prevents the AI deck from not reacting to an immediate threat. Okay? So it's going to stay on
supersede the order.
That's right. Okay, so it will go ground movement or jump if necessary. It's not jump capable, is it?
Yes, it is. Gunslingers are jump.
So you could jump.
It's jump weak, so it's a 6-inch move or a 4-inch jump.
It wants to target the yellow, which is the rifleman. Okay. Sorry, no. Now he's going to proceed to yellow within 24. So what's within 24?
So yellow in this instance is going to be objective, which again we don't really. It's not concerning us this time out.
Yep.
It's going to be lowest TMM, most damage, lowest armor. So it's basically defaulting to the same thing as red this time.
Yeah. Lowest TMM.
So
on the rifleman as well, correct?
Yes, this whole pod is within 24.
He wants to occupy woods first and foremost, while trying to get into medium range of the target.
So he's already in medium range.
Mm-hmm. Also maintaining as much cover from as many enemies as possible, and staying out of his line of sight of as many enemies.
So speaking from where we're standing here, I'm not sure it could get line of sight on the rifleman if it tried. You have a better view than I do over. I mean, I'm looking on the screen there, Jesse. I think that if he was to get all the way over here, he could, but.
I mean, there is. So it's hard to see because of the overhead, but there are struts.
Lorcan, how you doing? Commendy, how you doing?
Underneath here, so you can sort of see if you're watching like these. Represent where there's
Very silent mouth is in there too.
Now,
how
what I
doing
will
tonight,
say
guys?
in this instance, I'm not sure if it's within 24, but it has not specified that it must get closer. So that
it wants to get within medium range.
Yeah, so that is jump capable. So if it is within 24 inches of the rifleman, it could actually jump to the wall behind it, and it would have LOS of the rifleman.
I'm not sure it can reach the wall with a jump of 4.
We're thinking like there. So the wall.
You can jump
tall.
half. Yeah, half. So,
yeah, so I don't think he can get up
No,
there.
never mind then.
On the boxes, maybe, but I'm not certain. I think you may have to move to.
Yeah,
to
we
another
might need to move down a condition.
Yeah, I would check the next condition down.
All right, so if we're going to move down a condition then, we're going to look at what it would do on balanced. So in this instance, it would like to ground move or jump if needed onto the highest elevation. It wants no enemies in 16 inches. It wants its target at medium range, and it wants cover versus most enemies.
It's not close enough to any elevation changes to jump on.
It actually is. It could jump right up onto these.
Sorry, yep.
Onto the
Sorry,
boxes.
I missed the boxes.
That's actually a really good thing for it to do because it is the not the
That's the
Sagittar, it's
Sagittar.
the Gunslinger.
Gunslinger, yeah.
It's the most dangerous thing on the board. It could probably get up there without a jump. It could get to this box without a jump. It could jump onto there.
It'll go
with
on
a
the
jump.
box behind it.
I think
No, this one here. It doesn't have enough room to sit there, but it could sit on this one.
Yeah, and it could actually do that with a
Without
walk.
moving
So
it
it would
around.
probably
then
be-
for sure.
Yeah,
that's
So
what he's doing.
jump is not needed in this instance. We're
Yeah.
just going to walk it.
Definitely what I would do if I was walking around in a mech that
And
scary.
it's a one.
It's a
target.
1 TMM, yeah.
Yep.
Which I don't have any more of.
I do.
Here.
All right,
Nice.
so
Quick
to the Davians.
There we are.
And yet, Karamindy, to your point, yes, the rifleman is still absolutely can be used. It can't be used at medium range with no cover up against 3 assault mechs, which is why we took that.
It is a good rifleman. It's the rifleman 3D, which is the one with the 2 AC-10s, but it's just not going to be able to stand up to a Sagittar, a Gunslinger, and a Thug.
All right. So
Um,
you're just going to move it in for sacrificial lamb here, or what?
Well, we're keeping it in cover for the moment.
Yeah, we'll
do we want to keep moving these guys since the assaults seem to want to come out?
I mean, since I feel like the Aces deck is going to be real fixated on here right now, so let's leave these guys.
Okay.
Is my thing.
All right.
Let them move, and then we'll react accordingly. So let's see what we can do about bringing our segmented guys over and try to take advantage of some of this. Now, I don't think any of these guys have jump jets.
The blackjack.
The Marauder doesn't. The Caesar doesn't. That variant of the Blackjack does. It jumps 8. Is that enough to get him up where he can start shooting?
You can get him up. He can get up here.
Can we get him onto the?
He can get on top. He can get
Okay.
to here, or he can get onto there. You want him up here?
I think up there, because now there's still some cover. If you keep him from
Theoretically,
going
yeah.
that
Yeah,
way.
He's a 2.
That Blackjack is it? No, he's only a 1.
Blackjacks are a 1.
He's a 1 with a red, right?
Yeah.
So
2 and a
I'll-
jump. Or
I'll
1 and a
hand you
jump, I
both.
should say.
Yeah. There we go.
Super fans at home, this is actually the Omni Blackjack. The specific variant is the BJ2OD. So it still looks just like a Blackjack, but has a lot of that new spice.
And it's
Yeah.
very scary.
All right.
Or a Blackjack.
So-
The
Sagittaire.
OD in Alpha Strike is 30 PV for slinging 4 damage at medium range. It's one of the more cost-effective ways to put that much firepower on the field.
Okay, so Sagittaire, under aggressive. If you can move, and this is fighting under the Juggernaut profile, if you can move into base contact with the nearest activated enemy. That is not true, so it will go to balanced. If the unit deals damage greater than the armor of an activated enemy within 24, stay unbalanced.
Okay, so the Blackjack has 5 pips of armor. The Rifleman has 5 pips of armor. It's a little embarrassing.
And the Shadowhawk?
The Shadowhawk? No, he said activated enemy.
Oh,
right?
activated. Never mind that.
Those are our 2 activated. So does it put up more than 5
the
damage?
answer is no.
Okay.
No, the Shadow or the Sagittaire could do 5 if it could get within short
So
range.
then we're going to go
but
to
at
the
medium.
column
It's
3.
only 4.
Column 3 is cautious. So zone targeting towards the nearest.
That would be the rifleman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can ground or sprint in this instance. It wants no line of sight to all enemies.
It can do that. That just simply
It can
means
sprint to do this if it needs to.
All right. If that means that then he's like this over here now.
It wants
So
to
none
gain
his
line
cover
of
works.
sight to the rifleman while doing it. Okay? Moving closer to the target. And then ultimately, if it can't get out of line of sight, it wants to have as much cover as possible and occupy woods if it
Now
can.
the Sagittaire is a 6J. Does it have a jump on here?
No.
Okay.
Right, just with a sprint, it can go
You
up
have
to
the-
12. I think. If so,
does it move 8 or 6?
It's a 6J.
Oh, so it's only no, but the
Oh,
move.
sorry. The sprint.
Ground or sprint. That's
Yeah.
it.
The
So sprint could theoretically take it up to 12.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so-
if it wants to be out of sight of everyone, but still close to the rifleman, I think this is tall enough.
Yeah.
That Blackjack couldn't get him.
And he gets cover from try to get cover in woods from as many people as possible.
Everybody who is activated, it can get cover from. Yeah.
So if he's sort of there,
Yeah. And I will grab a.
that's got to be a 1. It's a big mech.
Yeah.
I love the Sagittaires, the Davians taking the catapult concept to the extreme, where it's like it's legs in a cockpit, and how much stuff can we duct tape to the side?
I don't have a sprint token token at the moment. Oh, yeah, I do. Never mind.
There's a whole
Look at
bevy of them in there.
Amaze.
All right,
Now, how far did that
Fed
move?
Rats.
That was 11.
Yeah, okay.
No, less than that.
Yes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
less than that. It was only here. So,
I think it was only 9 or so, but
yeah.
Okay, Fed Rats, let's go.
All right.
Continue over there, I think. What's the best way to get those folks into this fight and or to draw people off? None of those are jumping. Wheeling through this might be a bit of an issue. So do we want them to start going this way?
Yeah, I would say have a flanking maneuver over there.
Humpty Dumpty
Use,
here?
use the. I would say bring the Caesar around, possibly using that. How far does that Caesar move? 10?
10, 15 on a sprint.
Yeah, I don't need to sprint it. I would say put it under that that support, a little closer to you. Yeah, put him.
Whenever you want them.
Yeah. Just so that he can see down the down a small firing lane with cover. For those of you at home, he just kind of did a limbo slide under the tram,
and now he's breakdancing.
and now he's breakdancing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which Battletech can do. Don't let
All right,
anybody
well,
tell
we
you otherwise.
recover from the PSR failure there.
There we go.
We're
And
going
he's
to
a
move
1.
on.
He's a 2.
He's a 2.
Yeah, he's a 2.
Caesar's such a good mech.
Nope, that's a 3.
Most of them
That's a
are
2.
1s, but that one is, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to move on, and we're going to look at the next one in order for the Blakists to move. So, for the Wobbies here, we have number 552, which is going to be our missile boat Hellion. So, on aggressive, if the ideal red is activated, and unit can move to attack it without being in any other activated enemy's line of sight.
So
Now-
we're going to go to our command card and check the red column. Now, it will be different than what I've shown on screen, but you guys will get an idea and a feel for
Yeah.
this.
So, lowest TMM, most damage, and highest armor.
So we go one by one first, right? So the first one is lowest TMM.
Lowest TMM.
So, the rifleman or the enforcer.
Any number.
They're
of
tied?
mechs. Yeah.
They're tied?
Now, if it's native TMM and not counting the jump, the blackjack is also a contestant.
Okay.
Yep. And bringing up this next one.
So the next one.
Most damage
So it's going to be the rifleman again.
or the blackjack.
The blackjack is throwing 4 as well.
The
No, that's
blackjack,
the
yes,
blackjack.
4
Okay, so we're going to go to the
Yeah.
third.
And then lowest armor, which I'm going to go with blackjack.
It's, yeah.
Almost. Yeah. So
Torso twist.
I
and
think
look at the
aggressive is
blackjack.
actually fulfilled
Yeah.
for the moment.
So, yeah. So if we're into the aggressive there, then it wants no enemies in line of sight other than its target and cover versus most enemies. So if he wants to maybe duck walk into the trees there or move himself forward a little bit and get cover behind those boxes there.
Or take cover behind the gate.
Yeah, that would work as well.
He doesn't want direct line of sight to the blackjack either, or
He
you're
wants
saying,
line to the blackjack only.
or like partial cover here
Yeah.
Partial's fine.
and doing like that.
That's-
That seems to me what he doesn't want. To
I think he
use.
wants a clean shot to the blackjack, but as much cover as anything
From everybody.
from
else.
everybody else.
In which case, that might be up here. That blocks off the Caesar, that blocks off the rifleman, but he'd be worried about where they're going to go.
Well, that's why I would say they put him behind the gate, because if you use the gate as this nice total wall for anybody coming up on him, he's got it. Yeah, I would say that that's where I'd put him.
And
Okay.
He's
Team
a 2
3 it should be
or 3.
for the Hellion.
The Hellion is a 3, in fact. Yes, he's an
Yeah.
18-inch movement.
I love the Hellion.
Tiny little fast guy.
To the Fed Rats.
All right, and from here we have a Night Sky and a Clanbuster, both melee mechs to worry about. Do we want to start moving these guys in, or do we want to move the Marauder into a decent position to
I think
fire
just
back?
have the Marauder follow the Caesar.
Yeah, okay. Let's move the Marauder as far as we can.
Yeah, it's an 8, so we can mostly catch up.
We can sprint it right behind him and then not worry about him this phase.
Sure.
Okay. Paul, do you want to move our Marauder behind the Caesar, like as if he's following it on a sprint, and then we
On a
won't...
sprint?
Well, because he's not going to be able to get there in 8 inches, but he can probably get there in 12. So.
No, he's going to be right. I'm going to call him base to base, but he can't actually. sit
Yeah,
underneath
yeah.
him as well.
No
but,
worries.
but he's also out of any
Got it.
arcs.
Yeah.
Yes.
He'll be participating in battle next turn.
All right. Who's up next?
All right, the next thing we've got in the initiative order here will be our BL9K Clanbuster Black Knight. So, in this instance, he's looking to see if unit has armor greater than any enemy's damage rating. So,
Okay.
um,
So the highest
You got
enemy
6.
damage
How many pips
rating
do we
is
have?
we've
5.
got 7 pips on the Black Knight.
You're good.
Yeah, the most damage we can do is 5.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he's
okay.
going to be aggressive. So he wants to ground move towards nearest ally, He would like cover versus the greatest number of activated enemies and no enemies within 12 inches.
So he wants to move towards the nearest ally?
Towards the nearest ally.
He's going to
looking
go
to back somebody up.
between the Gunslinger and the Sagittaire, probably. He's either going to
Yeah.
take cover here, or he's going to probably take cover here.
Yeah, he's probably going to go here. Just make sure that he's not within 12 inches of the
Well, give him
blackjack.
cover, though, too, right? He wants cover?
Cover versus most
Yeah, he
enemies.
wants
Most
cover.
activated enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's someone using this box.
Yep.
Can the blackjack see over? Maybe it can, but I don't think there's anything he can do about that. Anywhere he goes, the blackjack will be able to see.
I mean, Blackjack's going to be his target anyway.
yeah,
So.
but that's going to save him from the Caesar, and it's going to save him from the rifleman. Yeah, I think he's happy there.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
What's his TMM?
His TMM is 1.
I got a 1 right here.
Another one.
Davians.
All right, now we got these two mediums.
All right, we have a Night Sky to worry about from here. Are we even going to try and slice the pie on Assault Mechs, or are we going to reposition?
I think there's a lot of firepower
There
coming
is.
this way. The Shadowhawk's got to jump a 10, so he can get out of dodge, maybe get to a better position where he can hit things that can't hit him back. The Enforcer might just hide behind a wall and close its eyes and plug its ears. No, for the best. Do we want to get that out of the way then? Just plop the Enforcer back there for now?
Well, actually, what I would think is put the Enforcer over here, because those Assault Mechs are coming this way anyway. If he's nice and snug behind this piece of cover, you can't really see it on the stream, but I'm talking like right over here. If we hide him here, maybe the Night Sky will come out this way, and we can tango an Enforcer versus a Night Sky, no problem.
Okay.
And then that way he's not stuck in here when the Assault Mechs come around. We can actually bring him for a flanking maneuver if we can.
All right, let's enforce it.
Sure.
Terrible.
You think so?
Terrible.
All right, put a 1 on there.
Comes walking around the corner,
right.
and all he's going to hear is... You can't hear the sound effects.
You're right, I can't hear the sound effects. My ears have been ringing because of all the autocannon fire I've been listening to as a Davian.
Oh, yeah, folks in the chat, let us know about the sound effects, so they should be a little more balanced than last time.
All right, who do we got next, honey?
All right, the last one up for the Blakists of our level 2 here is going to be our Striker, the Night Sky. Striker going last is what I like to see. Now, if the ideal blue is active and the unit can move behind it. So there is nothing active that Night Sky can get behind. So we're going to move on to balanced. So if the ideal blue is activated,
So blue.
We're gonna look at the
bring this
command.
back up again. Yep, command card.
yeah, we're going to look back at the commander cards again that we've gone over earlier. And in this instance, our ideal blue is going to be lowest armor, highest TMM, highest move, and highest point value.
So again, we're going to go
So
first and
by
foremost.
descending order, it's going to be lowest armor first.
Lowest armor is a few of our guys.
Could very well be the Blackjack.
Yeah. I mean, the Blackjack, the Rifleman, the Shadowhawk, and the
they're all
Enforcer
tied?
all have 5 armor.
Okay.
Yeah, so then we're down to highest TMM and highest move. Out of these instances, it's probably going to be the Shadowhawk.
It is.
Yep.
I would say almost certainly it's the Shadowhawk. So if the Shadowhawk is activated, so the Shadowhawk is in fact activated. No,
No, it's the only
it
one
is
that hasn't
not.
activated
Okay,
yet.
I apologize. Sorry. So then we're going to move on to Cautious. So Cautious would like ground move if needed, line of sight to target, no enemies within 12 inches. It would like to occupy woods, and it would like cover.
Hold on, let's walk back one instant here. I was reading the chat when you said it. So, if the Shadowhawk was not activated, it was never into the. It was never in the tiebreaker.
You're
So
correct,
you got to
I
walk it back.
apologize.
He's
Yeah.
unbalanced. Yeah. Yep, okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
It has to meet the condition, right? So
Yeah, sorry.
And Kevin says they're perfect. I'm assuming he means our lovely faces.
Sound effects.
But might be talking about the sound effects, in which case, thank you, Kevin.
This guy's got such a lovely face.
That's
Look at
me.
that.
Look at that. Look at
Look
that.
at that. He only wishes he was that guy, though. That's
All
the
right,
problem.
sorry. Then,
Get him out of here.
then in that case, we're probably back to the tiebreaker between the Rifleman, Enforcer, and Blackjack.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So we would then move to the highest TMM out of them, which is all the same.
Yep.
The
At the
highest,
moment, it's the Blackjack.
yes, at the moment
Because
it's
of
Blackjack
jump.
because of the jump.
Yeah,
but,
but I
this
don't-
is looking for the native TMM.
Fair enough.
The highest move and then the highest point value is going to probably be the deciding factor here. So
Okay.
out of those mechs, I believe it is the Blackjack.
That is the black. Yep.
Cool. There you go.
All right, so
All
it
right.
wants to move towards the Blackjack then.
Okay.
It wants line on the Blackjack, no enemies within 12. It would like to occupy woods, and it would like cover from most enemies.
So just there.
Yeah.
Yep, because the Caesar's not going to be able to see him. The Marauder won't be able to hit him anyway. Yeah, that looks right to me.
Cool. What's TMM on the Night Sky?
TMM on the Night Sky is going to be 2.
Oh, okay, it's better than I thought.
Yeah.
Spare 2 over there?
Yes.
Why do these guys leave the Shadowhawk to move last? Like, what kind of tactical advantage do you get with the Shadowhawk?
None, but
the AI is trash talking the air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What kind of strategy is this?
So can I get
HAL
the measuring tape?
3025 here.
Yeah.
Can I get the?
You may.
Or,
No,
I guess in
the
this
measuring
instance, it'd be
tape.
more like HAL 3057.
The
3067.
3067. Yeah.
Because we can probably. How far is the Shadowhawk moving?
10.
It jumps 10.
No.
Yeah.
Our Shadowhawk.
Oh, your particular one. Sorry.
Is jump strong?
It does have. It has a normal jump because this is a Shadowhawk
Yeah.
C.
Okay.
And the question is,
Davians get the Shadowhawk C in this era.
if we get it here, is it visible to the Black Knight and the Gunslinger? Because if we hide behind all these boxes, having him up here would actually allow him to shoot the Night Sky.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Gunslinger, I'd say yes. Black Knight, probably not.
Black Knight, no for sure. Gunslinger, I think, can see over.
Okay. Well, we could always try and get him here, which wouldn't be great either because of the Sagittar.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I just don't want to walk into a giant wall of assault mechs. That's all.
No, he has to leave.
He does. He does.
People like seeing Davian people die.
I know.
Well, it's going to happen one way or the other, because if they do try to hide all of their more delicate units like they are, and they expose their heavies, we're going to walk through that side of the board and then
You know what?
consolidate,
I
so.
say we go
I mean,
for
that's
it.
what the deck's going to do.
I say we go for it. We go here, and then we possibly get a better position next turn as the assault mechs break up.
Fingers crossed. I
Yep.
think he's going to get destroyed, but let's see what happens.
I think he's got TMM 3
Yeah, CMM 2, but 3 with the
plus
jump.
plus a jump. Yeah. So we'll risk it.
All right.
It's going to be exciting.
Okay, that completes the movement phase. We are going to go to the shooting phase. AI lost initiative, so
Yep.
it will go first.
Yep.
So I'll bring up the card again. We'll look at the shooting side of the card. So again, number on the top right corner. This is going to sequence our priority low to high. So what do you got, Henny?
Yeah, so we are using the Thug again at this point, but some of the numbers did change. I will point out that sometimes they do differentiate between the movement and fire phases. So with the Thug first, it's number 103. It is starting with attack by ally this turn. Well, that's obviously not going to happen. And then it's going to go to red on the command list. I believe at this point in time, we have decided that red at this moment is the blackjack. Red on this instance being lowest TMM, most damage, least armor. That would be the blackjack of what we have on the board. So, and it's not going to want to use OV.
No. Okay.
So the Thug is going to shoot into the blackjack very simply.
Yeah.
There's no cover here.
How many dice
So
we got
the
here?
Thug is a skill 4. We are within medium range. I cannot see line of sight on
You've got
got
it.
clear-
You've
clear
got it
shot.
clear.
clear line. So 2, 7, 8 with
How
the
many dice?
jump, and we're throwing 4 pairs of dice.
4 pairs of dice on 8s. I'll straighten out the dice tray just so everybody can watch me annihilate the Federated Suns pilot. I annihilated the building in front of him. I hit him once with the gray dice.
1 hit on the
8.
blackjack.
Yeah. I got a 7. Yeah, a couple of bad rolls there.
All right, kind of a miserable showing from our Thug here, but we'll move on.
It's not me. The dice are cursed.
Thank you, Professor Hawking. All right, the next one up is going to be our Gunslinger, which is the Skill 3 Level 2 Commander. So, its first priority is going to be attack by ally this turn.
So he's going to be firing at the blackjack if he's got line of sight to it.
He
He
does.
has line.
There we go.
I believe all of the calculations are the same, except it's a Skill 3, and we are throwing 5 pairs of dice
This thing is
time.
scary.
We'll add in the blue dice for Lynnvander. They seem to be a little lucky sometimes. 8s. Oh, the Lynnvander dice hit with a 9. And that's it. Only the Lynnvander dice hit.
1 more hit on the blackjack.
All right.
Blackjack has 3 armor pips remaining.
And way too much luck.
What's next?
All right. After that, we are moving on to number 441, which is going to be the Juggernaut. That's the Sagittaire.
Which sprinted, so it cannot fire.
Yep.
Yes, correct.
So he's done.
So we're going to skip that one.
Sad
Then we
trombone,
move on
Sagittarius.
to the Hellion. So our Hellion would like within 24 inches, attack by ally this turn, and red on the command list, or red on the command list. That's going to
So
be the
it
blackjack in
almost
either
certainly
case.
If,
So-
Is there
provided it
24?
can reach.
He's firing at the blackjack first and foremost. How many dice does he have?
He has
Oh, it's close.
3 at medium.
No, it's out of range.
Attack by ally for it.
Yeah, but it's out of range. It wants within 24. It's not.
It's yeah. Well,
No, that 2 feet is
it's
right.
just on the line. Yeah, I think that. Here, you want to?
Let me see
So
this.
you're not reaching like you're at boarding school.
Range 24? Yeah.
Yep.
School's base to base.
Yep.
Out of range.
Out of range.
All right.
So he's going to go attack by ally.
Yeah.
So who else?
still-
who got-
so
who
it's
got
still the
shot?
blackjack.
It's still the blackjack. Yeah, yeah.
How many
But
dice?
it's using its long bracket.
All right, so at the long bracket, he has 2.
2. And he's got base what?
He is a base 4. So we're 4
8,
plus 4.
10s. Miss and hit.
Yeah, so it still connects with one.
The blue,
All
the
right.
blue dice. Yeah, roll Lynnvander dice.
I don't know
Hit.
what's going on with this blackjack's luck.
Yeah,
So far,
it's-
it's very standard.
Yeah.
Very swingy. Yeah.
Next.
All right, next up we have the Black Knight. So the Black Knight is looking for a target within 24 inches. Attacked by ally this turn, red on the command list.
Yep,
it seems
it's-
like these guys
well,
want to single out that
The
blackjack.
So he's out 4 dice or 5.
So he has 4 dice at medium.
Medium. He's a base what?
He is a skill 3.
So he's at 3, 5, 7s.
Yep.
We got 11. We got 9. We got 4 and 5. So 2 more.
Okay, the blackjack is now out of armor.
All right,
and he's
so
not
we have a
feeling the-
stripped blackjack.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, and hopefully going to be doing some critical damage, we have the Night Sky 6T. He would like.
His shot might be partial cover.
Okay.
Which I do
Well, we got to
remember.
figure out who he's shooting at first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well.
So it would be within 6 inches. Obviously, that's not happening, so we're going out to 24 inches. Rear, again, not happening. Least armor or blue on the command
So
list.
within 24, the least armor.
For sure, the
The
blackjack.
blackjack has
yeah.
0 armor.
Just making sure.
Hard to
And
get lower
how many
than
dice?
nothing. And it's going to be 3 at medium.
I'll use the Lynnvander dice again.
Hard to
because
get
they're
lower
the
than nothing, but the
they're the only
Capellans
things
seem to
hitting
find a
here.
way, huh? I don't know.
What were we hitting on?
We were hitting on 9s.
9s? That's a pair of hits.
But
Well, that's
Yellow,
a
ye-
dead
Yellow
blackjack.
Lynnvander and blue for Lynnvander both hit on 9s.
all right.
Well, then I guess we know what we're doing on our firing
All
round.
right. Rest in peace, XL engine.
We tried to avoid that as much as we could for this, but here we are.
All right, that's it for the Word of Blake.
Yes.
On to the short-handed
yeah, and soon to be shorter. All right. Well, we want to
Federated Sons.
You were already shorter.
So, what's the best shot the blackjack can get before it explodes?
I think it's the gunslinger.
You think it's the
I think it in its dying breath, it wants to shoot at the biggest, scariest thing on the board.
Okay, so medium range. So it's a skill of 4. The gunslinger is a +1, so 5. It can see over the cover. 6, 7 for mediums. So throwing 4, looking for 7s, but overheating 1.
Looking for 9s because we are jumping.
Oh, and we.
Who is this?
This is the blackjack.
Blackjack.
So throwing 5, looking for 9. 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew, I need some high rolls. Come on, 9s. God, I'm not. Miss. Total wipe.
All right. So
Okay.
thrown by the death throes of his mech, blowing apart around him, our blackjack pilot has plowed his PPCs into the nearest building.
Continuing the curse of bad marketing that just haunts the blackjack.
Poor panic firing blackjack. Well, the next step would be our Shadowhawk.
Poor
Who has
panic
gone-
firing blackjack. What about the poor civilians in that building?
Now,
Yeah.
unfortunately for the audience, I don't have a slingshot sound effect for when the Shadowhawk shoots.
Yeah, actually, the Shadowhawk C, despite being upgraded with Clan Tech, is it's nothing. It's nothing special. They just fixed the what? They fixed the jump jets.
Well, and it's got flak and IF zeros.
Oh,
So
okay,
it's
all right.
versatile still.
It's an LBX5 in
Which
that
is,
one.
yeah.
All right.
Now, it's nice, that we did actually have, if we had a proper stormtrooper firing sound effect for the blackjack just blazing away into nothing and hitting nothing.
So I think the Shadowhawk is looking for 9s as well because or maybe 10s because we have this as our cover in the way. But into the Gunslinger, which is what it can see right now.
Okay.
It would be our better shot.
All right, then I will throw 2 looking for 9s.
I think it'd be your equal. Oh no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No. Wow. Wow. That's.
I saw a lot of 1s and 2s on.
I
from
will
my
add.
angle.
I will add a whoosh.
All right, the Davian Stormtrooper Training Academy.
And I do believe that the Caesar would be able to see the Thug. If I'm looking at this correctly.
Yes.
Firing across through this underpass here.
He can see him.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so the Caesar is nice and tucked away in here. We'll get them out in the open.
Actually, no, he can't.
He can't?
No, this is a block here.
Okay.
That blocks.
He might be able to.
He can see the Gunslinger.
Oh, then we'll
Absolutely.
shoot.
Yeah.
Then I would far prefer to shoot the Gunslinger.
And he can see the Night Sky as well.
I mean, the Gunslinger would be a better shot, a better target because
Yeah.
it has lower TMM. So.
Okay, yeah. So Caesar's going to be
They have the same
5. That's our skill 3, 4, 5 for medium, 6 for the Gunslinger's TMM. Cover an issue. No, so 6 or 7 because the Gunslinger, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be the Gunslinger.
Okay, so yeah, that looks like 7s. So 5 looking for 7s.
Looking for 7s.
Does the salad have enough croutons?
I don't get that one.
That was a Caesar joke.
salad.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
We switched from the drink to the.
It's all right. Just have a route of Caesar.
Did we
puns.
whiff?
We got 1 hit. It's boxcars, but I didn't declare crit dice.
Oh!
But it's boxcars.
Well, we didn't need to.
Wasted.
Is
No,
it
it's
wasted?
okay. You can roll it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
yeah.
So we got a crit.
1
You
hit
got
and
a
a
crit.
crit on the Gunslinger.
It's been a while since I've been in this house, so the
House
rules
rules,
of the house
yeah.
are.
It's a 10. Does anyone have the determining?
That is a
critical hit
fire
stable?
control hit, which
yeah.
is exactly what we wanted on a Gunslinger.
Fantastic.
That's this one here. I'll pass that over to you
Yep.
guys.
Well,
Sure.
I have played this game too much, and I have memorized this table.
You're a good
So
man.
it is a fire control hit on a 10.
So that is a brutal tack to take as the gunslinger.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up on the list.
There is nothing up left on the list. My caution got the better of me, and we are out of shooting.
Yep.
So that is it for turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
We will clear the board and go to initiative.
All right,
while
gentlemen
we are doing
and
that,
Fedrats.
while we are going to initiative, clearing the board, one of the things we do with the Aces command deck is we are going to determine whether or not we stay on the card that we currently are on. So if you can look at the back of the card here on the Star Captain that's up on the screen, you'll see
those on,
at the bottom column there is a series of conditions with a letter beside them. If you meet any of those conditions, then you switch your command card's deck to that card. This is to simulate that your commander is now changing his tactics to the tune and conditions of the game as it's progressing. So if you're, generally speaking, if you are in a defensive mode and you're losing units, he's going to become more defensive and not as aggressive and protect his units, depending on the faction, of course, because these commander decks are going to be tailored, and they are tailored
They all
to
have a
faction.
personality,
They
right?
have personalities, right?
Jade Falcons exist. They
Yep.
run
So
the guns.
in this instance, okay, our conditions, which won't be the same as what's on the card on the screen there, but Henny will read them
So
out, right?
it would switch to Commander E if our objective is complete. We don't really have an objective going on this turn. It's more or less a kill game. So if we lost the lowest PV worth of units this turn, we lost no PV. They lost a blackjack for 30 PV. So we're going to be moving to Condition B.
Okay.
So we're swapping our Star Commander card for B.
Perfect. Alrighty, now we have got the board cleared, and I will lose initiative for us a second time with a 4.
4. Yeah,
Oh.
ties up.
Uh-oh.
Roll off.
I'm going to the Lynnvander dice. I'm going to go 1 and 1 of each.
All right.
6.
9.
Oh.
See,
All
these
right.
dice are
Take
hot.
that, Fed Ratatouille.
Dice are hot.
All right. So here's what we got.
You hungry, Henny? Is that what's going on?
Kinda.
Okay.
I know, yeah.
So we started 50 points behind, and we just lost a mech. So now we're 80 points behind.
All right. So I have a tactical suggestion.
Yeah.
Stop listening to the things I have to say.
That's what I was doing wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why
Joe?
I thought he was going to say retreat.
Joe is not good enough to beat paper.
No. Are you? No. Paper. I mean, I'm kind of just a rock, and paper beats me every time. What the hell am I saying?
Moving right along.
What analogies?
After this existential crisis, we will begin turn 2.
What analogies fail?
So, what I'm saying is, we started off at a disadvantage, now we're at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
However, we are buying time for the dropship to activate.
Right.
And give us some guns. I think we said turn 3 or turn 4. We're going to start rolling for that. Maybe once we get to turn 4 or 5, it might just kick on anyway. But that gives us our
You're not getting out of turn 3.
I'm thinking this turn is going to be about taking cover.
You want to take cover? Let's take some cover.
Yeah.
All right.
So we've now concluded that the Fedrat's plan is exactly what it was all along, apparently, which is just to hide and hope the dropship saves them.
It's worked before.
Realistically, so I know I just said don't listen to me. I know I did just say that.
Yep.
However,
one sound effect I am going to add to the deck is the Jeopardy music.
My suggestion is we've been bringing a Caesar
Sound
into
of chess
position.
timer ticking
I
down.
say we bring the Caesar into... These are assault mechs and are not going to be able to flank the Caesar this turn. I say we put it in such a way that the Night Sky, if it decides to come around, will get a massive wall of guns to the face.
So you just want to bring the Caesar out to here?
Something like that. I wouldn't even allow the assault mechs to get eyes on us if we can avoid it. But if the Night Sky comes close, it'll eat too many guns.
Yes,
So
that is correct.
Yeah, with 10.
Oh, we don't need
Yeah.
the full 10. We can do it on 6.
So you think they're peeking out from the side of the strut?
You want the Caesar?
Barely peeking, yeah. Yeah, the Caesar emerges out into the open. Sorry, he was hiding from our VTOL camera the whole time.
There he is.
Ironically enough, the
And he's
Caesar
a
is
one,
trying
right?
not to get
Caesar's
backstabbed.
A 2? I have a 2 here.
I think that's appropriate for the Caesar to avoid getting backstabbed.
It didn't go so well the first time.
Is there a Brutus?
All right, first up for the word of
It'd be great if
Blake.
we had one on the board. All right, first up for the word of Blake, we have the Star Commander. We have the level 2 commanders. We have our Adept Alpha here in the Gunslinger, unfortunately, with the fire control hit. So, he would like, if there are any activated enemies in 24 inches and no activated enemies in 16 inches. That's not the case right now because there are activated enemies in 16. So he's going to go into balanced because there are activated enemies within 30 inches. So he would like range within 12 inches. Is that Caesar within 12 of him?
That might be.
Currently, yes.
You can eyeball that?
I have played a lot of Alpha Strike.
Yeah.
Apparently he can.
Okay, so for those watching
Within
that
one
are new,
Subway sandwich for no.
for those watching and are new to the most current version of the Aces deck, Josh and the guys at Lynnvander added in a zone radius on the cards for the mechs to react to units that are an immediate threat. Anybody who's might have played the old beta test from almost 2 years ago now, came out with the Mercenaries Kickstarter. One of the ways you could game the deck was, the deck would react to the highest TMM, and it might be a locust on the other side of the battlefield, and then it would put itself and subject itself to open fire, or maybe not an optimal move to obtain an objective. Now they have these zones on it, and some cards just say the nearest, some say 12 and then out to 24 and then out to 40 as high as, and it allows the AI to be more reactive and intelligent with what's going on around it. Okay?
Yeah. So he would like to have line of sight to the previously discussed enemy. He wants to ground move, jump only if needed. He would like no enemies within 12 inches. He would like his target at medium. He would like to occupy woods, or in this case, cover will suffice, and he would like to be onto the lowest elevation. So he's probably just going to back up slightly behind that box he's standing on.
Yeah.
If there's room between his level 2 mates, that's where he's going to go.
Yeah, he's going to stand between the Night Sky and the
Black Knight.
Black Knight.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Davians?
Jeez. Okay. I think the Shadowhawk gets off of this elevated firing, to be shot at platform.
I would wait on that.
I know you would.
Yeah.
But
We have a Marauder to bring up as well.
you want the Marauder into.
Yeah, I'm gonna suggest, because technically we are playing this cooperative, even though I'm vindictive and sadistic and like watching Jesse's mechs get blown up.
We got his lunch order wrong, and he's been angry about it all day.
Yes.
It wasn't the lunch order, it was the
moving
coffee
the
order,
Marauder.
but that's okay. Joe's the worst secretary ever.
Moving the Marauder is probably the smart move. Why? The AI has only moved one unit. So regardless if that's an AI or a human player, you're going to want your opponent to have to deal with a flanking motion this way. You're going to put 2 heavy-hitting mechs over here. Anybody, including our AI, or if it was Joe or me or Henny or Jesse, we're going to start paying attention to that side, right?
I mean, even at
that's the logical move.
Even at the most basic fundamental level of tactical understanding, typically what you always want to try to do in this game is give yourself the most options. So you want to be moving your slower units first. So that Marauder is one of their slower units. It does not have jump jets, and we've basically committed to it backing up the Caesar anyway. So the smart play is definitely to use that, even from a more minimal tactical standpoint.
Move this out
Absolutely.
Of the way, but I would say partial cover here.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Okay, so, all right. That would make the most sense. And he's a 1.
I largely agree. Yeah. Yeah, we'll use that. Oh, they're out in the open now. You can see them on the aerial view.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
All right, so we
Aces
are
deck.
on to our Black Knight.
Okay.
So once again, we're going to throw out another Clan Buster out at him.
The Clan Buster, for anybody who has it slipped their mind, that's the one with the hatchet shape or the sword-shaped hatchet on the cover of the Battle of Tukian.
Which is not a sword. It's a sword-shaped hatchet.
Nor is it a hatchet-shaped sword, as
All right, what's he
we
doing?
almost said. All right, so it wants to know if there are enemies within 12.
Don't think so.
I think
Let's
it's
double
just
check.
out of 12 with the Caesar.
Yep. Nope, he's in 12.
It's in.
Yep.
All right, perfect. So it would like activated yellow. In this instance, the only thing that's within 12 of it would be the Caesar.
Yep.
So it's going to activate on the Caesar.
I have a question for how the deck behaves with regards to these colors. The yellow is not a universal term when it checks for stuff like this. It's the yellow within range.
Let me see the card. No.
Yeah.
So
If it has a range marker,
it wants to when you're in the first column. So I'm going to bring it back up here again.
Sure.
Okay? So when you're in that first column, you're in the colored text at the top. All that colored text at the top is you're going to meet this requirement in order to stay in this column. So in this instance, our card says if there are any activated enemies within 12. The Caesar met that condition.
Yep.
It's going to stay on aggressive. Now we are going to go down to the sequence of priorities based on the movement and where it's going to want to have its line of sight targeting and cover. Okay?
Okay.
So its range is 12. There's only one unit we know in this instance, which is 12. Okay? But if there were multiple units, you would continue on saying wants to target the activated yellow.
Okay. But the yellow could change which one it
If
is.
there was
from time-
if that
two
Marauder
units-
was 1 inch ahead of where it was, it would be tied with the Caesar, and we would consider it.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So if there were 2 units there, then we would actually look at what yellow is in this case on the command card and determine whether or not which one of those 2 mechs met the condition of yellow. In this instance, because of rule, there's only 1 unit. It automatically defaults to that to the Caesar.
Okay.
So it would like
more you know.
So it would like to ground move, which is good because Black Knights don't jump. It would like to go behind the target if possible. Obviously, that's not happening. So it would like line on the target, cover versus most enemies, and it would like to occupy woods.
That's exactly where it is right now.
If it can see through that, if it can see past the boxes there, yeah, it's pretty much doesn't even need to move.
Yeah.
It won't not move though.
So
It's
it
gonna
will
move.
want to move to
It'll
get
have
its human.
to.
So
It'll have to
okay.
designate. And I'll clarify that it'll have to designate standstill. It's not
Okay.
designated to stand
So
still.
it's going to
it
want to
won't
back
move.
up. 'Cause I
And
think
it will not. You can't do the gamesmanship of moving it back and forth. You got to put it in a position.
So
right?
then is he backing up out to, like, away from this?
I
but
mean,
still
he could
using
back
it?
over to the wood line here.
Yeah, he can
he
be
could
on the
move
trees.
up, or he could move up with the other 2 there behind the other run of boxes. I think
no,
one
if
of
he
those
does
is
that,
next.
he'll lose out line of sight. Or
Unless
actually,
he's peeking.
Yeah,
right.
unless
can
he's
go there.
peeking there,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
He
so
can
then
go
he'll
there.
move here.
Yeah. All right, that's another one.
That's
Okay.
another silver.
Walks over and shoots.
Yep.
Cool. To the Davians.
So this has just made things interesting because it's now showing its rear to us. So we now may want to take our enforcer in after those assault mechs have done something.
I would like to wait for the assault.
That is kind of where I'm going with this.
Yeah. No, so I said, let's take cover, and we ended up moving these 2 guys out of cover. So that's cool. That's fine. We're all friends here. I still think we need to get the Shadowhawk to be much harder to be shot at.
We could move the rifleman through the underpass around here.
Okay. Rifleman has 8. Where can he get with 8?
Well, let's take a look. He can easily get over here, which is a very narrow set of shooting, but it could probably fire across to that now much harder to hit stuff with Gunslinger,
He is in
which was a sentence.
there. I think I translated it from Joe to English.
Yeah.
If we're looking at that, does he have line of sight? I think on the Gunslinger, and the Night Sky will
Night Sky hasn't moved yet.
but yeah, he could hit the.
It's just the Gunslinger.
And he's a
right
1?
now.
Cool.
He's a
The
1,
Aces
yeah.
deck? What do we
Yeah.
got?
All right, over to the Aces deck. We have the Thug 11E moving up next.
I must interrupt very quickly. We at one point do you start having to move 2? I believe it's 1 after this.
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
it would be next turn.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. All right. So the Thug is going to, if the ideal yellow is activated and within 12 inches. Now, our yellow for the current Star Commander deck is going to be most armor lost, which don't think anybody live on
Not
the board has
anymore.
lost
Nope.
armor, lowest TMM, and most structure loss. So it's just going to be straight up lowest TMM.
Well, you
and
have
then
your
we're into
choice. So if
tiebreaker
something
mode.
with the lowest TMM is within 12 of the Thug, we should measure within 12 of the Thug if the Rifleman's close enough.
No, any unit that's within 12 will automatically default.
Not the Enforcer, not the Shadowhawk. Yeah, the
Rifleman's,
Rifleman.
Yeah.
Rifleman's the default mech. Now, again, I'll reiterate that. The color only matters if there's more than one unit. Okay? If there's only one unit within 12, it automatically defaults. It becomes the
Yeah.
yellow. Okay?
Yeah, so probably the only thing within 12 then is the Rifleman. So it's
Yep.
going to, and the Rifleman is active, so it's going to be on aggressive. So within 12 inches, it would like line of sight to yellow. Ground move, behind target, again, not happening with assault mechs generally. No enemies within 12 inches. Cover versus greatest number of activated enemies, and line of sight to target.
Yeah.
So, probably right there.
He's going to
Behind
go
that-
up on the box?
Not on the box,
Not
behind it. And so he's firing at the Rifleman, right?
Yeah. Now, and he wants to avoid the
He can get cover there from... He can step behind the box and get cover from it, right?
well, that was my thought. Is he
Yeah.
Is he perhaps standing on the Gunslinger's
That space
marker?
is occupied, right? Like
Yeah.
that's as close.
He's
as
got partial cover from him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what he wants.
Okay.
All right.
You got
between that and the fallen and the
he's a
the
one.
fallen piece of tram rail, yeah, I think he's got partial cover. Because again, I must remind you that currently the Rifleman is here, stuck within
All right,
quite a bit
David,
of fallen
let's
highway.
move him up.
All right. Every turn so far, I've suggested taking cover, and we have ended up
Not taking
You want to
cover.
take cover?
Cover?
Go ahead.
I did look. We're partners in this, but I'm just sitting there in the back.
I'm not a double agent from a nearby.
I
nation.
always say move your most options last. Your Shadowhawk is probably still your most options.
Yeah. All right. Well, then our Enforcer, I think, is going to peek out. Oof, it'd be great for him to get back at the
It
Black
would be.
Knight, but the
It-
Sagittaire will
Okay,
immediately
I would
disintegrate
not
him.
put
Yeah.
the Enforcer
Yeah,
over there.
that's
Yeah.
not
The
gonna
Enforcer
work
needs
out.
to double back around and follow the Rifleman and start moving that direction. You guys took a beating last turn because you were aggressive with the
With
Blackjack
one man,
here,
yeah, split
and
them
it
up.
got taken off the board.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so let's sprint him.
Well, you don't have to sprint him. Just get him in a position where he's got cover, and he's
Here?
he's in an area where he's not isolated and the only target of opportunity to be ganged up on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that gives him line of sight through there in case
Yeah.
anybody's advancing that way. All right, cool. Let's do that. That's another-
AI? Oh,
All right,
this
so
one.
we're going to be
Yeah.
moving 2 here. So
I get
Paul's
another
going to
one.
take the
He's on my
Sagittaire
one
here.
score.
Cool.
Horrible
So the
guys.
Sagittaire operating under the Juggernaut profile. Okay, under aggressive, if the ideal blue is activated and the unit can move within 6 of it. Can I even move within 6 of anything? I don't think so.
With the Sagittaire?
Yeah. I don't think that's
you can
possible.
actually
Yeah,
you
you
can come close.
probably get within 6 of the
You, well,
Enforcer.
you are as the crow flies. You are within 12 of the Enforcer. Yeah, you can. It's
Okay.
it's a
So
sole
blue,
location.
blue, in this case, you got to pick between the 2 mechs.
All
so
right,
blue,
so
first
blue
priority.
in this case. Most damage.
So what does the most damage between the 2, the Enforcer and the Rifleman?
It can't see the Rifleman.
No, but I don't need that. I
Oh.
just need to
Yeah,
determine
well,
whether or not I'm
Rifleman does 3, Enforcer does 2.
Okay, so he's gonna he's gonna stay on aggressive because he meets the condition.
Okay.
Okay, so now
Although within 6, they'd be tied at 3 and
They
3.
would. Yep.
okay, so then he's gonna go to the next one. What's the next one?
The next one down would be most structure lost and most armor lost. Neither one of these.
Neither
are
arm.
factored
What's the
here.
final one? Most armor lost.
Yeah.
So then it goes to the highest PV.
Okay.
What's the highest PV between the 2?
Be a Rifleman, no?
Yeah.
The Rifleman's higher by 3.
Okay. So he's actually sorry. I meant the lowest PV, not the highest PV.
Then
the
it is
Enforcer.
going after the Enforcer.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it wants to zone, any. So line of sight to activated. So that's going to be the blue. We've already determined the blue would default based off PV to be the enforcer. It wants ground movement. It wants to get in base-to-base contact if it can.
Nope. It cannot.
Nope. It wants to move closer to the target.
Yep.
Cover from as many enemies as possible.
It's moving here to get to short, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
You get that Godzilla trumpet.
Okay. The other one we want to move this turn. Do you want me to read it out, Paul, or you want to do this one?
We have to move to? Oh, good. Let's go. So this is the Hellion, I guess.
Hellion A.
I saw the missile boat. So, Hellion, aggressive. If the unit can move behind the nearest activated enemy.
Which it can't.
It can't, so we're going to go to balance.
Which is
The Hellion is an 18-inch move.
It just needs to get behind it, not in its rear arc for
Can
dice
it get
damage.
behind-
Just behind
Ooh.
its front firing arc.
That's a good
all
point.
it
That
is.
is a weird instruction. Let's 18.
Is it quick enough to pressure somebody?
No.
Not with the turns in there.
Quite. No,
Yeah.
because it'll have to, it has to make...
Essentially, the AI is considering, can I move quick enough to put pressure on somebody? If so, I'm going to stay in the aggressive column, and I'm going to look at what it's actually going to target. Okay. So in this instance, it can't do that. So now it's going to go to the balanced column. If there are any activated enemies within 24.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know this card. We know this card well. So what are we going to do? Zone. Closest unit.
That would be the
So
Caesar.
closest unit is the Caesar.
Caesar. Okay. Activated nearest. There we go. Ground. It wants line of sight to the Caesar only.
Okay.
It wants to stay out of as many enemy arcs as possible while moving closer to the Caesar.
That is an interesting instruction for a missile boat. That looks like here.
It wants cover, though.
Right, but
Yeah.
comes from the
There's
Caesar.
trees.
From the
Well,
least number
He
of
could
things.
get behind. He could stay right behind. He could move across and stay behind that door and get partial cover and woods. Could he not?
Did I not hear that he wanted to get closer, though?
Yeah, he only has to move half an inch to get closer.
Yeah.
Right? You just got to meet the condition. You don't have to go rushing on him.
I mean, if he could get into here and not have shots from the
Can
Marauder.
he get here and get partial cover?
That
Yeah.
sounds more like what I'm thinking. Like, so
Right.
now,
As long as you give him as much cover as humanly possible.
yeah.
I can't see from where I'm at, so you're gonna have to tell me, right?
He's trying to get in there and go ham. He wants
he
to
see
toss
it?
a Caesar
I
salad.
should point out the rifleman would have a clean shot on him from over there.
Okay, so
Okay, it's very difficult to see with all
around
that.
the corner there.
So then pull him back, I think, to here.
Yeah.
Or
Right,
even
this
behind that
box.
door. Put him halfway behind that door.
Almost where he was before.
Yeah.
Just
He's
move
not
him
moving
forward,
far.
Move him across. Partial cover behind the opposite side
Yeah.
door.
Okay.
Firing at him. He's got trees in between. He's
Yeah,
got.
he's not going to take much shot from much else.
He's moved closer, and he's going to act defensively, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He behaves much like the missile boat he should be if he does that. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he is behaving strangely.
Don't forget to eject your extra Gauss ammo for added safety.
It's the other way around.
We
on
are
that one,
ejecting it. Where
Invictus.
it is the safest place for the Gauss ammo is inside the Word of Blade
So,
mix.
Kevin, good trees. While you guys are you're gonna do your move, I'll talk about
Sure.
trees here for you. Kevin, we make our own trees. Okay, they're really easy to do. If you want, send me a message on Discord and or Facebook or Instagram.
There.
We can
No,
get
no.
you
There.
set up with a way to make trees that are very budget friendly. Long story short, these are very, very, very cheap model train trees that we've just taken to the next level with some flock and some very economic wooden bases and just flock them. Okay. I think the last batch that Henny and his crew did, I think they made 200 of them. They had 3 guys do it, and they had to get pumped them out in 2 hours.
Oh, we had like 6 guys do it, and we did it in less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was
The-
about an hour and 20 minutes, and we
Yeah,
did
something
we
like
did
that.
about 120.
And I think it works out to about less than 25 cents a tree. Like they're not that expensive.
Yeah, and then actually with the amount of hobby material that we bought, that's actually including
Actually,
the
part of the reason-
various like the what was the name of the podge
Mod Podge?
Oh, Mod Podge.
Podge.
Yeah, Mod Podge.
That can be used again afterwards.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
you know, it doesn't, you know, the first time it's 25 cents. Second time it'd be more like
Same with the
19.
basing.
Yeah.
We used a type of AK texture mud for the basing on ours. Paul uses grass on his. Ours we have mud and rocks, whatever floats your boat. And the other thing, I mean, ours we probably could have had done in under an hour if we stuck to the one color, but we switched up partway through and started doing fall trees as well.
Shoot me a message. I'll give you a full tutorial on how to do them. They're easy. They're cheap.
To be honest, once you've got your studio set up, it might be a good thing to do.
I am probably the least capable painter that you will ever see on a Battletech stream, and I was quite comfortable doing the trees, so they are very easy to do.
You guys are up.
We do. We decided to get very cautious but bold, and he's laughing at me for this. We put our Shadowhawk right here behind this wall of boxes so that this entire pod can't see us. And the Sagittaire is also behind the Sagittaire. So we're hoping to back up our Enforcer here.
At least you've got the Sagittaire debating which one it's going to shoot at.
Can't shoot it.
It's back
okay.
enough.
Yeah.
So the Shadowhawk is safe, is in cover. Though I got one mech in cover after asking for 5. That's fine.
You have another mech in cover here. I asked if you wanted to move there.
I don't know if that's enough, but we'll see. It's
You didn't
fine.
fight me on this.
All right, well, once again, the final mech for the Blakist side is going to be the Night Sky. So the Night Sky, if the ideal red is active and the unit can move behind it. So in this case, the ideal red is going to be most damage.
Nope.
Well, not most damage taken, right? Most damage.
Most damage.
Oh,
yes,
that's
the Caesar,
potential.
and it might be able to get back there.
Highest structure lost and highest armor lost.
Yeah, that we don't have.
So it's a Caesar.
But it's the Caesar. How much does the Night Sky move?
The Night Sky is a 12J.
Oh, okay, so maybe.
So you were trying to base.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you were trying to bait the Night Sky, and it looks like you may have done it.
Maybe too well.
It's not going to be fully protected from the Marauder if it moves in there. The Marauder will be able to see it at short.
Well, what's the rest? That's its target.
So
What's
it
the
would
rest
like
of
to
its
be. It
instructions?
would like to ground move if possible behind target.
Yep.
In fewest enemies line of sight. Target at medium, and occupy woods.
It definitely can't do that.
No.
Yeah. It can get in short behind the target. It will have eyes on it.
One of you larger, taller.
Can he
people.
get in here?
He can get in there.
Because if he can get in here, he basically cuts off the fire from that Marauder.
No, he's going to be able to. He's not going to be able to move that far. He needs to be. He's going to be kind of snug. If he can move the full 12, at least from where I can see it, he will be visible to the Marauder with cover, but he will be visible.
Yeah. But he would have partial cover there.
He would.
More
He
importantly,
would be, admittedly, he would be further up and you bump the building, but I think we can split the difference and call
Yeah,
it.
he would be further up, but so would the building.
So
have
would the
been.
exactly.
Unfortunately,
That's
this is
kinda
why
what I'm
I'm
getting at.
Blackest Destroyer of Worlds.
Yep. All right, so we
Okay.
have our moves, and we lost initiative.
yeah. Well, okay. This sucks. So Enforcer on Sagittaire, I guess.
Yep.
Is that within short? It's a little.
Oh yeah,
tight.
that's the problem.
Okay, it's within 3, so skill of 4, 5, partial cover, I guess, is 6.
Yep.
So throwing 3, looking for 6s.
Can we overheat?
We cannot on
Okay.
the Enforcer. Those Davian autocannons, they don't run very hot. No, yes. 2 hits.
They're not even worth sound effects anymore. At this point.
2 hits on the
2
Sagittaire.
hits on the Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
And the Shadowhawk is the same.
Shadowhawk is the same. It also cannot overheat, and it is only throwing 2.
It's also looking for
Does that
sevens.
Shadowhawk at least have a PPC?
That is the Shadowhawk C? I don't think so.
No, it's an LBX-5, I think, is the main gun on it.
More autocannons.
Is it? What is it? Skill of 4, 5. I think it's just 5.
And we jumped.
Yeah, we did. We didn't put the token down. 7.
All right.
Golf clap, yay!
We're supposed to be outgunned in this scenario. This is what we.
Okay, we are, let me check notes here, about 1/3 of the way through the Sagittaire's armor.
I had a feeling
Yeah.
about that.
All right. Rifleman on the Gunslinger, which is medium, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8s.
Okay.
Rifleman throwing 3, looking for 8s. Miss, hit. Only 1 hit. 1 more hit on the Gunslinger.
Okay.
I guess presumably Caesar on the Gunslinger.
Oh yeah,
right?
we want to bring that thing down.
Yeah, we want to. Okay, that's a lot of dice.
Are we Are we calling crit pairs, by the way, now?
Oh, we should be. I will
Yeah,
start.
so
Okay.
we'll just use our Lynnvander as the crit pair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll use my
Which
white.
one? Which one? The yellow or the blue?
Blue.
Blue. Okay.
I'll be using the black pips on white dice as my crit dice. The Caesar, skill of 3, medium 4, 5, 6 because of that. 7 because of the cover. Throwing 5s, looking for 7s.
And he's throwing it at
The gunslinger.
Gunslinger? Okay. 2 ways to think about it going forward at this point. You want to focus on the most dangerous target, but also with the compromised fire control computer, there might be better targets than the Gunslinger.
4 hits on the Gunslinger.
All right.
That was
Oof,
well done,
okay.
Caesar. And then the Marauder, I don't think...
That one was the extra spicy. And
Well,
not
we're
the
shooting the
bushes.
Night Sky because
You
it's
know,
a short range.
yeah.
with the
You
partial
both
cover.
know the pain's coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we know.
Yeah,
Okay.
so short range, and it is... did we do that jumping or ground? No, we did that
It was ground.
Yeah.
It was ground. So...
I forgot to throw that down.
So 4, 5, 6 because of its TMM.
And partial.
And partial is 7. Do we want to overheat?
What is this?
Looking for 7s into the Night Sky.
Marauder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to get in. I know the Night Sky. We're not going to be able to get through its armor with this
Okay.
shot. So I would say we don't overheat it.
Yeah, the Night Sky has 5 armor.
Yeah.
All right. Doing 3, looking for 7s. Mother.
And
1 hit on the Night Sky.
All right.
from the Marauder.
Getting better. Better.
And the Rifleman.
Scratch the
Now
paint.
the Rifleman already went. He,
Oh yeah, you
did
did.
into the Gunslinger.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's it.
That's it. That's all, folks. All right.
Kept some armor off. Better
So-
than last time.
Then we are starting with the Gunslinger. So he is a skill 3. He's now going to be a skill 5, essentially, because of the fire control hit. So its priority within 6 inches, we don't have. Up to 24 inches,
Yep.
then. So
Anything
it
in the
would
back?
be rear, no, nothing it can
He's not
shoot.
all he needs to do is be behind it. Doesn't need to get the extra dice, just behind
No,
it.
no,
Nothing?
everything's-
Okay.
No,
Everything's
the
fine.
only thing he'd be in the sort of rear of would be
And
the Shadowhawk, which he's behind cover.
Before you go one step around, let me explain what I just said there. When you read instructions on the card that say rear, it does not constitute the extra set of dice as the condition. You just need to be out of its front 180 arc. So if you're behind it in any capacity, that would be the priority target. Okay, it does not get conditioned based off being in its direct rear arc where you get the extra set of dice. You just need to be out in the back 180. That's all it would be. Okay?
It's rear as a defensive condition, not rear as an offensive condition.
That is correct. That is correct.
All right, so it would then go to attack by ally this turn. First unit to fire is not happening, so it's going to be lowest armor, most PV.
Okay.
So out of what it can see, that is within 24,
Is the thug?
Lowest armor is the Rifleman.
the thug's on its team, so it's either the Rifleman or the Caesar. If it can see the Rifleman, it'll be the Rifleman.
I'm wondering which is firing. Sorry.
The Gunslinger.
The Gunslinger. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I can see the Rifleman.
Yeah.
because the Rifleman shot him.
So then it's going to be the Gunslinger firing on the Rifleman.
Gunslinger on the rifle. How many dice?
We are looking at 5 pairs of dice.
Should be looking for 5 partial cover would make it 6 plus a TMM would make it 7 plus the range would be 9.
Okay, and he's got no target number modifiers. That's why I brought it up on the shooting. Nothing to cause him to overheat or anything like that.
We have broken a pen, and we will have to go acquire a new or a marker.
I have no idea what happened with this marker.
Sorry, no, no,
Nothing's target number
he's
9
one
on.
too high.
Yeah, okay. So 5 sets of dice. The blue are the critical dice. These are on 9s. Ooh, we got some hits. We got white dice hit with a 10. 7, 8, 6, and 4. Just one hit.
Okay.
Can I borrow a marker, please, Henny?
They want
Hey,
more?
never mind. Okay.
All
it's
right, we're
okay.
good.
Yep, savvy and engineer.
All right.
One hit on the Rifleman.
Next.
That was
All right, next we are on to the Black Knight. So the Black Knight would like within 6 inches. Anything it can see within 6? No. The black that Shadowhawk's out of its arc,
Yeah.
so it goes out to 24 inches. So then it would like yellow on the command list. Yellow on the command list is going to be most armor lost. So what is the only thing that has lost armor this turn? Can it see the Rifleman?
I do not believe it
I don't
can.
think it can. No,
Okay.
this is much
Then
too
it's
low.
looking at lowest TMM.
I mean,
The Marauder.
Nothing else is in the same range.
Marauder.
The Caesar has TMM 2.
Yeah.
So it's
Marauder is
Marauder.
the only thing it can see.
How many dice?
All right, so it's going to be throwing 4 pairs of dice. It is a skill 3. You have partial cover with the Marauder, I assume?
Sorry,
3, 5,
the Black Knight
6.
is a skill 3?
That's what the card says.
Oh.
3, 5, 6, and the cover is 7s.
Should be.
Okay, and his target number on
And
there.
his-
Again, we're looking at the card at the bottom there. If it's certain target numbers, it'll cause us to overheat if we can.
Yeah, so if TN8 or less, an overheat might let the unit hit the target structure.
Does he have
That's,
OV?
He would have 3 OV. So if he max overheated, this would only let us use up to 1.
Yep.
1 OV will not go through a Marauder's
No.
armor.
So he's not going to overheat. We're rolling on 5 dice on 7, or 4 dice on 7s. Blue are the crit dice. Gray hit, blue hit. That's it. Just 2 hits. Black
hits
mist
on the
and
rifle.
red mist.
Can I ask a quick interjection? What are the skill levels on the Word of Blake mechs, really quickly?
Gunslinger is a 3, Black Knight is a 3, everything else is a 4.
Okay, all right. It's
So-
not exactly what we set up, but it's fine. We're good.
The printer had other plans, you see.
Apparently.
Okay.
I think we're using last week's Black Knight card.
You might be.
Oh,
true.
if it had no damage on it, I might have got them confused when
Yeah.
I was cutting them out. I'm sorry.
There you go.
All
okay.
right. We can just change that to a 4 for here on out.
Yeah, we'll do it.
You know, we've been running it with a 3. Let's keep it
Yeah,
with a 3.
well, yeah.
Punishing them.
It's a very
Alright.
skilled. It's a
It's-
very
it's a
skilled Word of Blake
mistake.
pilot.
Paul
This is
said
what-
it himself. He's a sadist.
This
It's
is
fine.
canonically appropriate,
It's a mistake
unfortunately.
I approve of. It's a mistake
All
I
right. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to be moving on
Let's
next
roll the
to the
Lynnvander dice.
Hellion. So the Hellion here would like to rear armor. Can't do it. Attacked by ally this turn.
Yeah,
So
you
attacked
fire
by ally
the
this turn is
beacon.
going to be.
The Caesar.
The Caesar.
Caesar hasn't been hit.
But it's
Caesar
been
hasn't been-
attacked.
It's been attacked. That's all that matters.
Attacked by ally this turn, then it would go to lowest TMM. So, yeah.
And I don't think it has eyes on anything else.
Lowest TMM only occurs if
You can't.
it's tied with something
Yeah.
else. So it goes attacked by allies.
So if it could see the Marauder, basically, is why I was saying.
As
we'll
long
go
as
to
it
that
was within
break
range,
point.
yeah. Okay, how many dice does he get?
It's going to be 3 at medium.
3 at medium. Blue are the. He's going to be at base 4, range 6. 2 for the Caesar's move is 8. Partial covers 9s.
Yep. That's where it by my math.
Miss, miss, and miss.
All right.
All right. Hellion whiffs.
All right, next.
All right. Next up, we have the Thug, which is only 1 number different. The Thug would like within 6 inches, nothing. Within 24 inches, can it get to the? Can it rear fire? No. Yellow on the command list, so yellow, as we have previously discussed, is going to be most armor lost, lowest TMM.
Stop at most armor lost first, right? Most armor lost.
Probably the rifleman, and I don't think he can see
Can't
him.
see it, so there's nothing else that he can see that has.
He can't see the Caesar. I don't think... he might be... no, he can't see the Marauder
Okay, so
either.
next condition.
So then it would go to most armor lost, then it would be lowest TMM.
I don't know if he can see anything.
If it can't see the rifleman, it's out of targets.
But it has no line of sight. It
Yeah.
makes it easy, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
No line
Okay.
of sight. Next.
Okay. I thought it was shot this turn.
Huh?
No. The Thug was not shot this turn.
Perfect. All right, then we're going to move on from the Thug to the Juggernaut Sagittaire.
Uh-oh. This is one of the 2 that we're afraid of.
Yeah,
Alright.
disintegrate our poor info.
Within 24, blue off the command list. So again, we're going to reference that blue column on our card.
Okay.
So Henny's got it there. And what do you
So,
got?
blue is going to be most damage, most structure lost.
So most damage. What does the most damage within 24 that it can shoot?
It can see 1 target, and that's the.
If it's
very
only
concern.
1 target, then that's going to supersede everything, and it's firing on an Enforcer.
So you are looking at short range with partial cover with TMM 1.
How many dice?
We are looking at, we're at short range, 5 pairs of dice.
Oh.
Now, one of the things we need to look at here, what was the number we're coming up with? Because it has an OV if we are if we are TN 7 or less.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely
Um,
7 or less.
So if it can use up to 1 OV,
Let's figure his target first, and then we'll go. All
Okay.
right. So he's at base what?
so he's a base 4.
4, range 6.
No,
Yeah.
we're at short.
Oh, it's short. Okay, so base 4.
4, 5, 6.
6. No partial cover, right?
No
Yes, partial
cover.
cover. That's where
that's
one
okay.
was
That's why
coming
it's
from.
6.
So now he's going to go with target number. He can
So,
overheat or
If TN 7 or less, yep. So if OV will allow him to hit the target unit structure.
So how many armor does he have?
He has 5 armor.
That
he
will
can.
be
Yeah,
what it does.
So he can
Yep.
overheat by 1 this
Yep.
turn. So he's going to drop 6 pairs of dice.
On 6s. Oh, I'll re-roll the black ones. That's good, too, because it missed. Oh! Look at... if you guys can see the Lynnvander dice.
Yeah, both sides of the board there.
The Lynnvander dice have done this and this. So, fortunately, the blue dice were the critical dice.
I'm sorry, Paul, I called the wrong crit pair.
I know. But we were hitting on 6s, so that's a miss. That's a miss.
Yeah.
It's like
Two hits.
This Sagittarius being piloted by Thomas Gofton or Lynn 6. That's
No, if
3
it was
hits.
being piloted by
3
Tommy,
hits.
it would have hidden.
Yeah. 3 hits.
Oh yes, because I'm told he enacts great acts of cowardice with his Highlander.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Hidelander.
The Highlander.
The Hidelander.
There can be only one.
That
I
could have
ha-
been tremendously worse.
I know, and now we
Yeah,
have an
nice.
overheated set
All right,
with
yeah.
no TMM.
The last thing we have
I'm
is
liking
going
this.
to be the Night Sky. Ooh,
I'm afraid of that.
as
I don't like that.
DFA the entire board.
All right, Night Sky. Within 6, anything that's in its rear arc. No?
Night
Within-
Sky,
within
it's
24.
within the rear arc of the
Caesar.
Caesar.
Caesar?
Caesar.
Okay, so he's going to
Oh, yeah.
fire into the Caesar. What's his base gun rate?
I do actually have to ask what causes him to choose to use a melee weapon.
Well, he would be base to base.
Base base.
Or within melee
No, he's
range.
got a melee weapon.
He's got a melee weapon. He
has
can
to be
actually
base
go
to
to
base.
1 inch.
He actually has to be base to base before he can use the melee weapon.
Really?
Yeah.
Just according to the Aces deck?
No, according to Alpha Strike.
Well, he's got a melee weapon, which
yeah.
allows it. Which
NBL special tag extends.
Yeah,
that
he
down
would
to
still
1
have to
inch.
be base to base contact, right?
Okay.
So, next. What's his
Okay.
what's his gun rate?
The Night Sky is a gunnery 4.
Yep. So he's at base 4. You went for 2 is 6.
That's it.
That's the number.
That's it.
And we're
right?
throwing 4 pairs of dice because we're in the rear arc.
4 pairs of dice. The target number of this unit, TN 6 or less. He will use up to 3 OV.
All right.
Can you OV?
No.
No. So he's got 3 sets of dice plus 1 for 4, right?
That's correct.
And which is the crit pair?
6s. Crit dice are the blue. So I've been using them all in. 1, 2, 3, 4 dice.
All right.
4
It
hits.
eats the 4.
4 hits. Ouch. Ouch.
It's okay.
He's getting it solid.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, Andrew, you're correct. Yeah, within 2. Yeah, you're within 2.
So it could have used
It could have, but it wouldn't have because
No, it
the
doesn't
given
lose
its
much
size,
damage.
it would
Yeah.
deal 3.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew Lick.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, Andrew.
And that's the last one?
That's everything
it.
we got.
Okay,
there.
so
that could have been so much worse.
It could have been so
Clean
still
up.
bad, but
clean up all the chips, and we will go over, and we're going to be doing the command priorities here, right? So what do we got for our priorities?
All right. So again, we have no objective. So if you lost the most PV worth of units, we did not. Nobody lost any units. If there are any enemies within 10 inches of you, of any of your units that have more size, so actually the Caesar has more size than the Night Sky, so that would put us on to condition D. So condition D will be this Star Commander.
Okay. Nice. And then we will go to initiative, and I'm going to roll the yellow dice for the AI. All the units have been cleaned up.
I'll roll those beautiful
All
Davian
right,
blues.
beautiful.
Which is weird because they're yellow on the map. I don't get it either.
Yeah, we appreciate you sometimes, Andrew.
9.
10.
Ooh. It's okay.
All right, well, hold on.
It'll be fine.
What was that squeak? Did Luther get back in?
Yeah.
Now, start of turn 3, which means somebody's in that dropship turning the key.
Of course, because it's only on turn 3.
We have 5 or a 6. Turn it on, right?
I thought it was just a 6.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's just a 6, then I'll do.
Well, that's yeah. It gets easier.
You're trying to turn off that tank, right?
Yeah, not the tank.
Folks at home, cross your fingers. We could really use a 6 right now. Andrew. Andrew!
Don't blame Andrew for your inability to roll.
But
If I was rolling, things would be different.
Did we borrow Goose's dice?
the dropship does
Yeah,
not
that's what
turn
we're
on
going
yet.
Yeah,
And we lost initiative.
it'll
Alright.
be okay.
That's not good.
Who's
So,
first?
All right.
what is our
mention
current
this
thought? We have an overheated Sagittaire.
Yeah, we want to wait for him to do
We want to wait.
something.
We want to wait. Yeah. I say for now we have our Marauder. We want to make either that Night Sky is going to try and run away, or it's going to try and make life difficult for the Marauder.
It's a striker. It's going to hang around and try to poke people.
Yeah.
Do we put the Marauders back to a wall?
That's my thought.
Yeah,
Where it can't get it, I would put it a wall kind of over there. Yeah.
just like that.
Yep. That's my thought.
Yep. Okay.
I can't see it very well, but that's what I would do if I was
Alright.
imagining the battlefield.
As though it was summoned by our opponent specifically asking for it, the Saggy tier is going to move next.
Oh yeah. All right.
So,
Do something weird, AI.
aggressive. If all enemies within 12 inches are activated. Nope. So we're going over to balanced. If unit has armor greater than the damage rating of any enemy within 24 inches. I'm pretty sure that Sagittaire has armor greater than the damage rating of every unit within 24 inches, so it's
Maybe
going to stay
combined.
on balanced. That was what I was saying.
Yeah.
So it would like line of sight to blue. Blue is going to be lowest armor, highest TMM.
Lowest armor first.
Yeah. So lowest armor then is going to be
It's a few minutes.
probably the rifleman right now.
I mean, the Enforcer is that far away and only has 2 armor left. So if we're talking current armor value...
Okay. So
lowest
it's gonna
armor.
So
Yeah.
blue will be the enforcer. So it would like line of sight to blue.
Okay, 1 second to stop. The cards will designate starting armor, like actual armor, and what's current.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I just want to point out I did make a mistake there. I apologize. It is activated blue.
Okay.
So right now, as only one mech is actually activated, it's
Yeah.
going to automatically default to blue. So the blue would be the Marauder then.
Okay.
All right. So it will ground move, jump if needed, line of sight to at least one activated enemy, which we only have one at the moment, and cover versus most enemies.
I'm not sure it's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's overheated. How much can it move? And can it jump?
4 inches.
It's a 4 jump or, yeah, it's 4 inches.
Because it moves 6 normally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this... So I guess it could technically get on top of there?
No, it can't. It doesn't have the jump to surmount vertically.
Oh, because it's double,
Because
right?
it's
it
dou-
would,
yeah,
it would
you-
need 8 to get
Yes.
up above 4. I don't think it can do that. It could step... No.
It's only a level 2 where it's jumping up onto.
To get up to here, it
That's
needs
a
to be...
level 3. You'd have to jump 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
That's no good. I
Jump
don't
more.
think there's anything it can do to actually see that Marauder this
No.
time.
Okay, so then we move on to cautious.
Yeah.
So cautious would give it on the nearest enemy, jump or sprint if there are no enemies in 36, cover versus most enemies, line of sight to target, no enemies within 12 inches, it can't do that, and occupy woods or partial.
So it's acting defensive because it's overheating. So it's going to step behind the... Literally, it's going to step behind that crate. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right
Yep.
at your finger. Exactly. But not facing that direction. Is there anything that can get behind it from that direction?
The Shadowhawk.
The Shadowhawk could do
The
it.
Shadowhawk can get behind it from
The
any
Shadowhawk
direction.
could go anywhere.
So it could do that, I guess, but the Shadowhawk will just...
I mean, if we're going to play this smart, it's going to stand that way,
Yeah.
forcing the Shadowhawk to come out here
into the open.
to get
Yeah.
behind it.
Correct.
That's obviously what it'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a 1 team.
Yeah.
It's a no TMM right now because it's overheated.
Oh,
so
yeah, it's
Oh,
overheated.
yeah.
it's down to 4 inches, so yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why we actually have an opportunity here. So that comes back to us, which begs the question, do we want to try and shoot the Sagittaire a little bit while it's both going to be harder to hit us and easier to hit?
I mean, what we're saying is, do we want to sacrifice a unit to try and hit the
That's
Sagittaire?
not what I said. That's not. I didn't say in the back.
Okay, what are you thinking?
If we keep firefighting with it just a little bit, it has, I believe it's taking a penalty to hit us right now because of the overheat, right? We can take advantage of that. We can remain in cover. We will have an easier time shooting it. Granted, it might mean that some of the assault mechs come this way towards the Enforcer, which will remain in cover. But we could take it over here, get some TMM, and do it.
Okay, I'm up for that.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
yeah,
Enforcer is, yeah, he can make that move easy.
easy.
So
Yeah, yeah.
Who's next? I got the next guy.
All right, next guy is going to be the Black Knight.
Black Knight. All right, the Black Knight behaving under the Brawler archetype, under aggressive. If there is an ally within 24 that has lost more armor than it.
Yes.
Yes. That would be the
Black Knight is
Gunslinger.
untouched. So that
Aggressive,
would be the
so-
Gunslinger or the Sagittarius.
He's going to start protecting. This is cool. All right, Zone 10. Line of sight and target, red. red, again, we're going to go onto our card and we're going to look and see what the red column is, right?
So red is going to be highest PV, most structure
Highest PV.
lost. Yeah.
Within a zone? Within the 10?
Within 10. The highest PV within 10, that will be the target. If
That's already moved or not?
No.
Okay.
Highest.
All right, well, Shadowhawk
have-
is 30 and the Enforcer is 25. So, I mean, Shadowhawk makes sense.
He's moving to back up the Sagittar is
Yeah,
what I'm,
this
is what I'm
is
getting.
brilliant. So the AI is working the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So ground movement only. Wants line of sight to at least one activated unit enemy closer to an ally and cover from as many enemies as possible. He's going to walk right around and protect that.
So is he doing that?
Because he wants to also be able to
But
see
if
the...
he wants cover, he wants to be back here.
But it needs line on an activated enemy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the Marauder it needs
He's going to move
line
like
on,
here
or the,
and fire across to the... well, wants as many as possible, right?
It wants cover from versus the greatest number of enemies as possible.
But it also wants to be able to have eyes on target.
Yeah.
Can
Well,
it
is
see the
he-
Marauder from over there?
It can't see the Marauder, but the Caesar can hit him this way. So
Yeah,
he
but he's
wants-
got partial cover.
Caesar hasn't moved
He
yet.
still has cover.
Yeah.
It's only taking into account the activated for that,
Activated
so it's
unit.
got to be the
Then
Marauder
that's-
or...
So he
Yeah.
moves 1 inch over there,
Yep.
protects the Sagittaire,
Eyes on the Enforcer.
gets his +1, has eyes on the Enforcer.
Is that 1 inch?
He just has to move. That's it,
Yeah.
period, right?
Okay.
And then he's got to cover from everybody else as the game state allows
Yes.
right now,
Yeah.
right? So that works.
Dunzo.
There you go. All right. Davian.
Forgive me for reading out the full card and giving me unnecessary information.
No,
to
that's-
Yeah,
everybody.
I'm being poignant about because people are learning. When you are reading the card, one line at a time.
Yeah.
So we've got a Rifleman now.
Yeah.
Probably as our next move.
We want to generate TMM, but I think he likes his hiding hole. Right? Does he just shuffle over a little?
Possibly. Can we get him back out here and get eyes on the
Yeah.
Sagittar?
Rifleman moves 8.
We
You got to
probably
pay
could.
2 to go through the rough terrain, though, right?
Yep. Well, let's
So you
see.
go 6 basically from there. You can get over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 gets him there just fine.
Perfect. So we'll get eyes on the Sagittar. Sagittaire.
Sagittaire. No, it's Sagittarius.
Through there, yeah.
Oh, yeah, move him further back and to there. Like, see him through this.
Yeah, can you lean over and see if he's got line of sight past
Not
his
there,
hero box?
not there, but we could do it if from
You can
over
remove
here.
that out of the way.
Okay.
We
So
could do it
people
from over
get
there.
line of sight.
And the Black Knight can't see him because of
Perfect.
various crap in the way.
Then that's
You
a
wanna
great
put that
move.
back there?
I do.
They call me Galactus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Installed.
All right. So next up is going to be the Gunslinger.
Ain't no slinger like a gunslinger.
So the Gunslinger, if the ideal yellow is active and within 24 inches.
What's the ideal yellow?
The ideal yellow is the most structure lost. Has anybody lost structure?
No.
Not so far.
Then it would be the most armor lost.
Caesar has lost 4.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and Caesar's not active, so we're going to move on to balanced.
Okay.
Are there any activated enemies within 30 inches?
Yes.
Yes.
Period.
So it would like line of sight to yellow. Yellow in this instance we just discussed is the Caesar. So it's going to ground move or jump if needed onto the highest elevation. So it probably will just walk up. Target at medium. It would like to occupy woods.
No.
Yeah.
Take cover.
And no enemies within 14 inches.
Which I think that covers.
I don't think it's possible to get no enemies within 14 inches with a Shadowhawk where it is
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, the Marauder would be within 14 inches even without
It
the
wants
Shadowhawk.
to move closer to units, right? Let me see.
It depends where you're going. Like the first instruction there was high.
We are on which one? Cautious?
Balanced.
Balance? So, grounder jump to 30 onto the highest elevation. Target at medium range, and then we determine the target's a Marauder, right?
It would be the Caesar.
Caesar, sorry?
Yeah.
Wants to occupy woods or cover, and it wants to try to have no enemies within 14. So,
Short of moving backward.
well, it can.
Even if it moves backwards,
It's
it
got
can't.
no. It's got no condition to move forward. Its only condition is to stay within medium range of the Caesar.
I don't think it has
So
the move
it's
to be
currently
under
it's currently
14.
moving what?
It's a 6-4. I don't believe it has the move to actually get out of that distance from that Shadowhawk.
Yeah.
No. And so, but it's going to meet its first priority, which is going to go up onto
Yeah.
a higher elevation. It doesn't necessarily mean that, though. Can it go anywhere else to make an elevation change?
Only up onto here.
Yeah,
And that doesn't give it cover.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And it's
that
not gonna
then that's
open
where
black.
you
No,
say-
this is where it wants to be. I think, for what it is.
I agree.
Yep.
All right.
And we've crowdsourced it. Next turn we're going to move to you guys.
Next turn you're
going
going to move to? All right. So from here, it's the Caesar, the Shadowhawk. The question from here, and we actually have to think about this, how scary is that Thug? And the Hellion still has its movement chip on him.
The
So
Thug is what pro rating? He's a 4.42.
Yeah.
So this is where we have to think about, do we put the Shadowhawk away, or do we put the Shadowhawk behind 3 different mechs, risking the Thug turning around, which would actually alleviate pressure.
Yeah, and it's going to open its back to guys up here.
Yeah, if it does turn on us, I think that's actually a better play. And we can do it
Yeah.
on foot. We'll just walk him around somewhere around here to get behind the Black Knight on foot. Put in the back of the Sagittar or something.
I'm certainly not going to argue with that decision.
I mean, we're going to lose the Shadowhawk.
Well, the Shadowhawk's currently untouched.
We're going to see what a Thug and a Hellion combined do to a Shadowhawk is most likely what's going to happen.
Probably.
Yeah. Now, so if we're here, we get the extra dice on the Sagittarius. If we're there, we get the extra dice on the Black Knight.
And the Gunslinger.
If we are... But I don't want him... Like, that's almost like the Thug might be able to get around.
Yep.
So maybe we get him here.
In the
Yeah?
concept of redundancy to win Battletech, right? You'd want to try to get the extra dice against the Gunslinger. You're 5. He's got 2. He's got 6 internal. He's got 2 external, 4 internals left.
Yeah.
The Sagittarius still has like 6 armor and 4 internals. Right?
But we're about to put a lot more fire into the Sagittar this turn than we are the Gunslinger.
yeah,
only
but you
other
can take
factor
down
that-
2 here, right?
Unlikely.
The
we don't
only
have
other
the guns
factor
to take.
that may come into
You're
play
better
as
off.
well.
You're better off to take off the Gunslinger at this point.
I mean, this is more of a discussion for the combat phase. In terms of movement phase, I think that's where he's going.
The real
If
question
he's-
is, do we jump?
Yeah.
Because if we're shooting the Gunslinger, we don't want to jump. If we are shooting the Sagittar, we can afford to take the jump because it'll give us extra TMM, especially if that Thug turns around.
I think we're jumping because I think this Hellion is coming this way.
Kermindi
Fair
says
enough.
the Shadowhawk is going to be fine. It's got Pharaoh plot armor. Actually,
we are
interesting
hoping.
question: do the Aces cards have a check to consider firing a unit with the flak special against VTLs? Not that I've seen.
Theoretically, it would because flak would probably be affecting the math for its target number.
Possibly.
It would. You could even. I mean, remember, you're supposed to actually play the Aces deck smart. You're not supposed to
Yeah.
have it make stupid decisions because
right.
it decided to. So if the flak would lower the effective chances of hitting a helicopter from 10 to 8, yeah, you take
You
that.
take it. In the Aces rule book, the golden rule, if you're confused about what to do, is you always pick the thing that's most favorable for the AI
Yeah.
side.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so first up is the Striker, which is the Night Sky.
Night Sky.
Okay,
that's
Night
good.
Sky, under aggressive. If the ideal red is activated and the unit can
Wait,
move
hold on.
behind
Has the
it.
Night Sky moved?
Not yet.
No, we're
No,
okay.
sorry, I was
that's why I was
forgetting to
confused
take a
by the
TMM
token.
So,
Red in this instance, we're going to again go to our command deck and see what red is, right?
highest PV.
Highest PV. Can I move behind the highest PV?
The highest PV on the enemy force would either be the Caesar or the Marauder.
Which one is it?
I'm asking the enemy force.
It would be the Caesar,
It'd be the Caesar.
Okay.
but the Caesar hasn't moved.
So
No.
Caesar hasn't moved, but he can't. How far does the Caesar move?
Caesar moves
10.
10.
It could get away
It
theoretically.
could theoretically get away. So he's going to go to balanced. If the ideal red is activated,
No.
no. Cautious. So he's going to.
Which makes sense, actually. It came in for strike.
He jumps behind, right, and does his damage, and now he's going to be a little wary because he's lost the initiative, right? So grounder jump
Actually,
if
one
needed.
initiative.
Wants line of sight to target. Wants to stay out of as many enemy lines of sight as possible, while trying to maintain a distance of 14. Occupy woods if it can.
Okay.
To which target? To the Caesar.
Activated
Okay.
red, yeah. Or, sorry, just red.
Yeah, just red. All right. Sorry, red.
So you got the tape measure there.
Poor
You're
Freedom
gonna move?
Eagle. All right. So,
He's going to come back this way.
yeah, he wants to get out of 14 if he can.
Do you want to try and jump up here? Can he jump up this way?
He could, but that won't get him
No,
outside
you
of 14.
he would need a 20-inch jump.
That's not that high. How high is this?
It's about 10 inches,
So
probably.
you need a 5 jump. You want
No,
half.
no, no.
Other way around.
Yeah, you need a 20-inch jump to
It's 8 inches
elevate yourself 10. So then you need a 16, which he
Yeah.
still doesn't have.
No, he's a 12J. So,
He'd get one of the lower levels.
yeah, I mean, but that wouldn't get him outside of 14 inches. The
Oh,
only way
okay.
he's going to get outside of the 14 inches that he wants is to come, like, back here.
Okay. Well, that's what I was suggesting.
In Alpha Strike, you can't,
Yeah.
like, if you have the rear
He can come
keyword,
on
you
here,
can't shoot
or
forward
he can go
and
back here.
backward at the same time, right?
You can actually.
You can split fire.
You
your
can,
weapons.
and it's the problem with rear fire is that it takes away from your forward firing for that
Right.
turn.
So, yeah, sure. That was the key.
No, that gives him.
I don't
exposed to the
fear
motor.
rear
I would
fire
probably
for
just
that
put him back
exact
here.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here with partial.
Yeah.
I've put a very fragile mech in the rear of an Atlas with no fear.
That sounds about right, and he can ground move that anyway.
Of
Of course, I do that in
This is
classic,
movement
so I
mod?
don't know.
And Classic
he's a
is
2.
a different kettle of fish.
So one thing a lot of people I don't see doing is you can split your dice in Alpha Strike. I don't see it happen very often. People forget that, so that answers your question. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can split up your dice as long as you have rear. You could fire that many dice.
You
whatever
do,
your rear
you do
weapon.
have to pull it away from your forward fire,
Right.
though, which is a
Of
very
course,
odd
yeah.
Mechanic.
Okay,
decision
so
to make. I
who
was
we
It's
gonna
just
say.
the heat control.
Who's the next one?
The thug is the other one that you
The
gotta move.
Thug, under aggressive on the Brawler archetype. Aggressive, if the ideal red is activated and within 10.
So the ideal red has not activated.
No.
Well, the ideal red to the Thug would still be yes. The
Caesar.
With Caesar. If the ideal red is activated, nope. Cautious, zone nearest, ground or jump if necessary. Wants to maintain line of sight on the Caesar. It wants cover from as many enemies as possible while trying to get. It's not going to get 18 away, but it wants to move away from him. Occupy woods if it can.
So is that here?
Woods or cover, sorry.
Because this is the thing, is now we have this shadow.
But that's him
Well,
moving closer to
One of the
enemies.
things to keep in mind too, if he can move back behind the Shadowhawk, then he's out of its line of sight. So
What's his move? It's gonna
8.
be
he's 8.
Yeah, it probably could.
Yeah, it
It
could.
can't rear arc, but it could.
So if you angle it more towards the tree, can he occupy some woods over there by chance?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, so he'll move probably somewhere behind the Shadowhawk and try to keep a line on the Caesar.
Yep. Interesting.
He's got I think he has full cover from the Marauder there. He's got partial from probably what's on that side of
No,
the
but
board.
he wants line of sight to the Caesar
Yeah.
still, right?
Yeah, he's got it.
He's
He's
got it?
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wenzo.
So from here we have a Caesar. They have played around the Caesar. I say we deprive fire. We definitely deprive fire to the Night Sky. We just leave.
Right.
You have better eyes on that side of the board than I do. Where would you put the Caesar that it can actually help, but maybe actually has some cover? Can it help the Marauder
Did you return
shoot
the
stuff?
I don't think the Marauder can hit anything.
Thug
You don't think the Marauder can
skeleton?
hit
Yeah.
anything?
No,
the Brawler.
there might be a case to be made for the Gunslinger, but it's
Okay.
I think it would go to like Defender decides, and Defender would say no.
That's fair. Okay. Well, because they're really on the Gunslinger. So can we slice the pie? Maybe. Can it see the Sagittar if we move it over there?
Or if it over here.
I wouldn't go over there because the Hellion is going to go after it, and the Thug might have eyes on it.
So you're thinking just take the other side of the strut?
Yeah, just make sure that the Black Knight can't physically see you, and then the Sagittar could.
It cannot.
It cannot. So we've got eyes on the Sagittar.
Yeah.
Okay, probably with cover because
for
of
sure.
all the nonsense.
Very,
in play.
very covered.
Yeah. Well, then that works for me.
Wonderful.
All right, next for the AI.
All right, next for the AI is going to be the Hellion. So if the ideal yellow is active, so the Caesar just activated, right?
That's the ideal yellow, is it?
Yeah. Well, we're going to go over that.
Okay.
But all your mechs are now active.
Yes, everything's activated.
Yeah. So the ideal yellow in this instance is going to be most structure lost. Has anybody lost structure?
No.
Most armor lost.
Caesar.
Caesar. Yeah. So if the ideal yellow is active and the unit can move to attack it without being in any enemy's line of sight. So can it move on?
Can it swivel its way over there? That's basically the question that it's asking.
No, because the Marauder's guarding the.
Fair enough.
So.
Then
Yeah. I mean, if it could get, it would be still in line.
Yep.
Yeah. So it would have to go out somewhere behind the.
It can't do it.
yeah.
Gonna
So
go
we'll have
the
to move to the next.
All right. So if the ideal yellow is active, within 12 inches.
Which is the ideal yellow again? The Caesar.
Caesar.
still? Okay.
Within 12,
it's
no.
it's outside of 12.
Okay, then it goes to 18, and I think it is within.
It is definitely within 18.
All right, so activated yellow. It would like fewest enemies line of sight, cover versus most enemies, within 12 inches of target, and occupy woods.
It's not going to like any of its options, I don't think.
There's no cover for it if it's targeting the seizure. The Shadowhawk is controlling this whole lane.
Who is this again?
The Hellion.
It's this 18-inch move.
Does it jump?
And
It does not jump, but it's 18 inches.
yeah.
Can it get in?
See, if I was
It can
if I
get
was a
back in
player,
here.
I'd say this is time for indirect fire. But I think the cards specify when it
They
wants.
What,
specify
what does
what
it
it
want
wants
to do
to.
here?
Okay, so in fewest enemies line of sight,
Yep.
cover versus most enemies,
Yeah.
within 12 inches of the target,
Target is a Caesar.
Caesar
Yeah.
occupies woods.
Occupy
So,
woods or
somewhere
cover
over
is
here.
fine.
Yeah.
It moves 18.
It moves 18.
But it does not jump.
But
So
it's
it's
not a
making
jumper.
it's rotating around its gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wants line of sight to the Caesar.
It wants line of sight, and I'm not sure it's actually capable of it.
And now it's got a Marauder pointed at it.
Yeah.
You can take partial cover.
Okay. Sure.
So
Well, the specification is fewest enemies, not no enemies.
So-
no enemies, and that's fair.
it's
yeah.
14. I'm gonna give it 5 to come around, right? So,
Yeah. All right.
or it's
I think that's-
13
I think
to
that's
5.
fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can the Caesar hit it from there if it twists?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
there is no twist.
Oh yeah.
Not in-
That is the
not in
twist.
Alpha
Yeah.
Strike.
And we need a.
A plus
Plus
three.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Then, yeah, he's only in range of one
Yeah.
enemy. That's pretty good.
So now we move to shooting.
Yes, shooting.
So we start with us. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
We start with the ones who
Let's
lost.
hole punch. Let's take the Caesar and try and put it through the Sagittar.
Yeah. That sounds fun to me.
Yeah.
I will remind you one more time that the gunslinger is 2 away from criticals.
We can't see the gunslinger with the Caesar.
Understood.
Yeah.
So skill of 3, medium 4, 5. Partial cover is 6. No TMM because he's hot. Throwing
Yeah.
5, looking for 6s.
All right.
All right.
That's not so bad, right?
I mean, I'm not going to jinx this. I'm not going to say anything.
Well, I'm waiting for that love from the
Who's
folks at
shooting
home.
here? Who's shooting
This
here?
is the
Caesar.
this is the
Hold
Caesar.
on. All right. All right. Roll away.
What hits?
Sound effect
2
used
hits.
for making a
3
salad.
hits. 3 hits on the Sagittaire.
Actually, can we put a cocktail shaker sound effect for every
Yeah.
time we move the Caesar?
Yeah.
3 hits on the Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Sound of celery salt.
Next up would be
Celery
the
is
rifleman, I'd assume.
Sorry, that was terrible.
Rifleman can't see the gunslinger, so he's also looking
Yeah.
at the Sagittaire.
Yeah, through cover.
So 4,
Five,
5,
six,
6,
seven.
7. He is throwing 3, looking for 7s. 7's a good
Who's
one.
this again?
It's the rifleman firing on the inner sphere Turkina. I mean,
We got one.
1 hit.
all right.
And then ditto the Enforcer, who's only throwing 2, and otherwise...
If you're, are you in short?
No,
No.
we're in medium now.
Yeah.
Same thing, right? Because it's covered
Yeah.
from... Yeah. Throwing 2, looking for 7s.
Who's this again?
Enforcer.
Enforcer?
Nothing. All right. How far are we into the Sagittaire?
You have 3 armor left.
Okay, so then from here we're short range with the
With the Shadowhawk.
Shadowhawk. We could go here, or we could go an extra dice and throw it into the back of the.
I think it's the Gunslinger.
You use
right?
gunslinger, sure,
I think we want to get rid of that more.
sure.
Gross. Okay, throwing 2. It's 4. It jumped, so it's 5.
1 for the TMM.
Yeah, 6.
And then range. So
Oh,
8.
8. Ooh.
It's also 3 dice
Yeah.
because we were rear arcing him as well.
Throwing 3, looking for 8s.
No.
No.
I gave you no sound effects, and
Yep.
it was.
And the Marauder into the
Appropriate.
Hellion.
Well, we could have given him a wah, wah.
It's the old.
Yeah, Joe and I got
This
trade
this
seats,
this
so-
AI is a really sore winner.
It's the broken you're facing. It's canonically the AI that you're coming down.
That'll be fun.
Right. Marauder into the Hellion. I can't see any of that.
But it's a medium range shot with partial cover. So
4, 5, 6, 7. Throwing
and then
3.
plus 3 from the TMM. So we're looking for 10s.
Oof.
Because it's a Hellion. Moves
Yeah.
quick.
I rolled a 10 in my life.
He's rolled a 10 in his life now.
So one hit.
All right.
An unremarkable shooting round for the Federated Sons.
That's a whole lot of wasted autocannon shells, folks.
Sound and fury
AI?
signifying nothing.
All right.
Let's put an end to this game right now.
Okay, AI, Sagittarius firing first. So, can it physical attack? No. So it would, like, within 24 inches?
I think the only thing it can see is the Enforcer.
All right. So blue.
No, it can see the rifleman because it shot the rifleman shot at it.
Okay,
so.
then we're on blue on the command list.
And it can shoot the Caesar. Remember, it was shot with Form X, so
blue on the command list is going to be lowest armor to start. So
lowest armor.
Yeah.
Still the Enforcer.
Yeah, it's the Enforcer.
All right. So we're going to fire on the Enforcer. We have a skill 4 Sagittarius.
How many dice?
We are 4 medium range or short?
Medium range.
Medium range, 4 dice.
So 4.
4, 6, cover 7, 1 for the Enforcer, 8.
And then 1 for the heat.
9s. I'm using all blue and yellow here
Sure.
because he's the priority.
Okay, hang on a second, though, because he's overheating. If TN 9 or more in this unit has any heat, do not attack,
No,
so don't fire.
He's on 8s.
No, he's not. He's on 9.
He's on 9.
Skill 4 plus the heat.
4, 6,
7 partial cover 8.
8.
Heat.
Oh, 9. Okay, yeah.
So he'll
Doesn't
gotta
fire.
cool off. Yeah. All right, so you guys got lucky with the Sagittarius there.
Not
All
as
right.
lucky as we needed to be.
Well, we were playing around with it.
It was sort of a second
Okay,
base.
next one.
kinda.
All right, next one we are looking at the Thug.
Yep.
So the Thug is within 6,
Yes.
Yep.
rear.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So
Not rear arc, I don't believe, but rear.
okay, so it's going to fire on the Shadowhawk.
Yep.
So it is 4 pairs of dice at at short range.
So he's a 3, right?
The Thug's a 4.
4,
Look for 7s.
7s. TN 7.
If target number is 7 or less and OV might let unit hit structure, use up to 2 overheat. The Thug doesn't have overheat, so I didn't bother going.
Oh,
with that.
okay.
So the dark blue dice are the critical dice on
Okay.
the 7s. I just rolled a pair of snake eyes.
Is that a total whiff?
No, he hit twice.
Okay.
11 and 7 and a pair of
A quartet
No.
of snake eye, of ones apparently.
Blame this guy.
Here we go.
Lulu.
I'm okay if everybody at the table is rolling poorly.
Yes.
Right? That's, yeah.
Which
Yes,
is admittedly
yes,
what's
yes,
happening.
All right, what's up next?
These dice
Paul
are
really likes to
rigged.
blame me for things. Sorry about that. I knocked a bunch of cards.
I'm
down.
having fun, but I this is just spheroids shooting at each other. I don't
That's
care.
exactly correct.
All right. So next we are on to the Black Knight.
He's at 4 dice, I believe.
The Black
By the
Knight
way,
is a
I count
4,
clanners
yeah.
as spheroids too, just so we're all aware.
Don't get him started with this peripherat nonsense.
All right.
Attacked by ally this turn. Can he see the Enforcer?
Who's he?
Black Knight?
Black
yes.
Knight.
I believe
Yes, he can, and he moved accordingly.
Yeah.
Okay, so Black Knight's going to be the primary one here. So he is a 4 at medium.
4, 5.
He's a 4 at medium.
Yep.
Okay.
And I got to
4 dice.
know what his TN number
what's his
is.
base? What's his base skill though?
His base skill is a 3.
So 3, 5. Cover is 6. He went
It's a
for
7.
1, 7.
Yeah, it's 7.
Okay, so hold on a second then, Paul.
Yeah.
If TN is 7 or less, and OV might allow you to hit the unit structure, use up to 2 overheat.
You are hitting structure anyway,
So
so
he's going to use 2 overheat.
he's going to use 2 overheat. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going
Dark
for
blue
overkill.
is criticals.
Wow,
You're terrible.
Those are still a
bad.
bunch of hits, though.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
seeing
hit. So
one.
1, that's a miss. That's a hit.
2 misses out of how many dice?
3 misses.
Oh,
He
3
hit-
misses out.
Yeah.
So 3.
So
We do take a
3 of
crit.
3.
Yep.
All right, so you want to roll your critical, Paul?
Wait a second, did I roll enough dice there?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
There's no way you
1.
got.
No, I had 4 and he went 2, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got 2 criticals or 1?
1.
We'll use.
Why would he get
The
2?
yellow.
Did you roll a 12?
No.
No. Okay, then we wouldn't get 2 anyway from one of
10.
damage.
Fire control.
10 is a fire control hit.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay, next.
Next up,
Blame
we
Paul.
have...
That's right, Beskar.
Next up, we have the Gunslinger.
Gunslinger.
Okay.
So, Gunslinger, attacked by ally this turn. I don't
not
think
sure
can
it
see
has
anything
targets.
attacked by ally.
It certainly can't hit the Enforcer.
Can't hit the rifleman. Can't hit the. Does it have
Marauder.
rear fire?
It does have rear 1/1.
Make it
Then
fire.
it's going to rear into the Shadowhawk, and that's it.
Yeah.
All right, so it's going to fire to medium laser the Shadowhawk.
Okay, it's going to be at medium range, so it's going to be at 3 or 4 base.
It
4
will
base.
be a 3, but it does have the fire control hit, so it's
So
5.
3, 5, 6. Shadowhawk went for 3 is 9s.
11s because
Well,
of.
miss.
Yeah.
Cool. Next up, we have the Hellion.
Yes, the Hellion.
Sorry, the Night Sky first.
Well, the Night Sky has no targets.
Yeah. But this guy's got.
Night Sky's blind.
Okay, I can't see where it is. So.
Does it have,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's all the way over there.
It's here.
Yeah, it's not seeing
They were
it.
supposed to be maintaining
No,
line on the
it
Caesar.
can
Yeah,
see
but then the Caesar
Shadowhawk.
left.
They can
Oh,
see
okay.
the
Oh,
Shadowhawk.
can see the Shadowhawk?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's range of the Shadowhawk. It's a 24-inch.
Oh, it's outside 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay, Hellion then.
yeah.
Hellion.
So Hellion is going to be. That's a movement card. Sorry. Rear, no. Yellow on the command list.
Rear, wrong. No, it's behind the Caesar.
Oh, it is behind the Caesar. Perfect. All right, then it's going to fire on the Caesar. It would have been probably yellow on the command list anyway.
Yep.
So 3 dice at medium.
Yep.
Skill 4. Caesar went for 2.
Partial cover. We've
Partial cover.
7s?
7s, the dark blue are the crit dice. 1, 2, 3.
Oof.
That's
Wait,
a 9,
wait,
a 10,
wait.
and a 9.
Okay, 9, 10, and 9. That would hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it had to have been an 8 though. 4, 5.
Regardless, that is
Yeah,
the
no, it would be a
armor
9. We were looking for 9s there.
off. Still hit.
Yep.
Okay,
yeah,
so but it's
Caesar
stripped.
is out of armor.
All right, and that would be the end of our movement or shooting phase then.
All right.
Okay, so clean up the tokens.
Yep.
We're going to go over the conditions here for the command deck. So let me see the command deck while you're cleaning that up. There we go. So I am going to go to, on my card, under E, if your objective is complete, that is not relevant right now. If you have lost more PV than worth of units this turn, or if you have lost less PV of units this turn. So did we take anything off the board this turn?
We did not take anything off.
No,
the
so
board
we're going
this
to
turn.
stay right where we are.
All right.
Okay. And Joe, you want to lose initiative again?
I would love to lose initiative again, but at the
Oh, can you get the Gunslinger first, please?
To be clear, I've been losing initiative for us the last 2 turns.
Yes,
so
if
Joe
I-
is welcome to.
I'm welcome to try and take
Does
over.
somebody
Well,
want to try and see if the jump ship starts up?
All right, so we are
Yeah.
going to play this one last turn, and then we'll call it. from
And
there.
well, it's because we actually made it to turn 4 in mostly one piece.
Yeah, but now the dropship turns on. So
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
firing phase, we will have some dropship support.
Okay.
All
So
right.
initiative first. I got a 9.
Joe, please.
Oh, you want me? You would like me to roll? All right, I will take these and I will toss them over
Yeah.
here. How about a 5?
That's
Yep.
not going to cut it.
All right, so under the current circumstances with the dropship online, do we want to leave it as a surprise for the AI, or would we'd like to treat it as if it's something that can actually?
Oh,
Behave like it can
everybody's
shoot.
aware that the dropship's online.
Okay,
Yeah,
then it'll move accordingly, presumably.
Yeah.
All right. So
If they can be like mech
Well,
power up
it's-
detected, they can definitely be like jump
Essentially,
ship power
the jump
or
ship's
dropship
not going to
power
do
up.
anything other than shoot, so it's irrelevant to the movement phase. It's not something you
well,
would declare as movement.
for
Except for
taking
line of
cover.
sight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
it's not a initiative sync, right? It's
no. It's
it's
purely
a
whether
turn,
the
yeah.
AI is going to avoid looking
Yes,
at it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, given that the enforcer has just heard that the dropship's online, and it has its it's taken a crit and a fire control, shall we simply put it where it is hiding?
Yeah.
Like
No, I think
here?
a few mechs back up and
Yeah.
try to bring the Blakist
Yes.
forward.
All right. So then
Yeah.
here-ish,
Yep.
if we can.
Oh yeah, no, he moves 8. He can get there.
Well, it's more can he fit himself here? I guess he can go up and then fall.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so we're going to tuck the enforcer by the stairs
Black Knight
here,
Brawler.
where you could ascend to the dropship, which is actually quite a bit off the ground here. And we'll move to the AI.
Okay. Black Knight is first up, moving on 083. For those of you who may have joined us late, The top right corner of each card will have a sequence number for initiating each of your units and activating them during the movement phase of the AI deck. So the lowest to high is how it works, and the Black Knight on the side of the Word of Blake is the lowest. So aggressive with the Brawler archetype. If there is an ally in 24 that has lost more armor than you, that is correct. So he's going to be aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Within 12, line of sight and target the activated red. So we're going to go to our command deck. Again, we're going to look at our column on our card and see what the conditions are to meet for red.
The only thing that it could possibly be is the only thing that's activated.
What is it? What's our conditions on this one, though?
Okay. It is highest PV.
Highest PV? What's the highest PV within 12?
Within 12 of the Black Knight, so it's not the season.
It is the
Probably
Rifleman.
Or is there anything within 12?
Oh, it's Shadowhawk.
Yeah, so the Shadowhawk
Is it activated red?
Is it?
No, okay.
Yep. So then it's the Shadowhawk.
How
with the
many
higher
units
shield.
are within 12? How many units?
Two.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then we're going to have to determine what red is then.
Yeah, so
right?
Shadowhawk or
So
Rifleman.
Shadowhawk, it wants to
or Rifleman.
move closer to its nearest ally, cover for as many enemies as possible,
Which is the answer?
occupy wood.
Sorry.
Highest PV, Shadowhawk or Rifleman?
Shadowhawk.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's moving towards its closest ally. So it's going to move towards
It's the Sagittarius.
Yeah, they're already
Sagittarius.
almost based on
He's going to step behind it. He wants cover from as many enemies possible in woods if he can.
I think that's just that.
Yep.
No, he might go back to back actually with the Sagittarius.
If he, well, keeping in mind that the dropship is on, so this would count as something it would want to be less line of sight to.
Like cover for most enemies includes this.
Yes,
now.
it would. Yeah.
And it certainly wouldn't face its back to where the Caesar is, though.
Yeah.
So it would probably face the other side, yeah.
Well, it's gonna give its rear arc to something.
It would move with the understanding that this is a very hot zone for the Shadowhawk. I think.
Go like this.
Yeah.
You sure it would go like that? Okay.
That's exactly
Okay.
right.
That's got it behind...
It's got in the forward arc, in the forward arc, in the forward arc. Its back arc is covered.
Fair
it's
enough.
in total
Yeah.
cover from the
Yeah. All right. That
total
makes
cover
sense.
from the dropship, right?
All right.
Good.
So from there, Rifleman to here. Rifleman has some armor still, right?
Yep.
So we'll put it here. If they want to come around, they'll have to actually come and get it.
But
So I'm going to say that we're not even going to try and get eyes on the Sagittarius. We'll like slice the pie that it can only see this way for an assault coming around here.
All right, the next up is going to be the Thug, and it's looking for the same condition if we're aggressive. If there is an ally in 24 that has lost more armor than you.
Yep.
Yep.
The
Yes,
brawlers.
yes, it have. It's untouched. So it would like line of sight to, or sorry, within 14 inches, it would like line of sight to yellow.
So what is yellow right now?
Yellow in this instance is going to be highest structure lost. We don't have.
Enforcer,
That's not true. The
within 14.
enforcer.
Okay,
yeah.
then it's the enforcer. So it wants line on the enforcer, if possible.
It is moderately possible. It'd have to move like here, but you should probably move the the data sheets. You'd have to move like here, but you'd have eyes on the enforcer if you went here.
Okay,
Does it
so
want cover at all?
line of sight to at least one activated enemy.
Yeah.
It wants
Check.
to be. It wants line on the nearest ally, and it wants cover versus most enemies.
So back it up and keep line of sight. Put it on behind that wall over there and get line of sight on the enforcer.
Yeah, that's what I think. is-
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep
Does it
going.
have that much?
No, it doesn't need that much more. At the moment, its line of sight is very limited.
Get it behind the wall.
It's only got 8
It
inches.
only needs to see the
Yeah.
enforcer.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
There you go. And he's a 1.
All right. So next up, we have. We have the Shadowhawk. You know what? Well, let's wait on the Shadowhawk. I think. What's the Marauder doing? What do we do with the Marauder?
He
It's
was
kind of been.
He was crunching and hiding, and he's by far the toughest unit we have right now.
Yeah.
We bring him out just to tank some shots, if nothing else.
We could just have him walk around with the intention of getting over here at some point. I mean, it's he'll be facing the Sagittarius down maybe
How much does he have?
8.
With 8, so if he gets into the rough terrain, and then he still has this providing a little
Yeah,
bit
that's
of
not
cover.
horrible.
Yeah.
And he's behind the Black Knight, actually. I think
Yeah.
not like rear arc or anything, but he's
But,
behind
yeah,
the Black
behind
Knight.
the
All
Yeah.
right, what do we got next?
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Night Sky.
TMM1.
The night ski.
I stole some of your TMM1s.
Indeed.
Our TMM1.
Aggressive. If the nearest enemy is activated and the unit can move to attack it without being in an activated enemy's line of sight.
So he's
So
looking
nice
to get
guys
eyes
here.
on the Marauder?
He wants to do it as long as he can. He wants to be able to do it unopposed. So can he get? He goes right here, and he can do it. Yes, so he's going to stay on
Yeah,
aggressive.
he can. He'd have to move a little bit further than that, but yeah, he would have to
He
move.
wants to target activated nearest.
Andrew is suggesting that we change the stream to be calculating Gator ASMR.
Yeah.
Which, we could do that.
Glad to know we're putting you to sleep, Andrew.
We would like you to fall asleep to this, Andrew,
Gunnery
because
of 4.
it'll up the views.
Attacker's move modifier.
Wrong
So-
kind of ASMR,
All right,
Jesse.
we're gonna go quickly here, guys.
Or is it
Sorry.
the best kind of ASMR?
Wants to move activated nearest. Line of sight to the activated nearest.
So the activated nearest for it's going to be the Marauder.
It's the Marauder. Okay, it wants ground or jump if necessary. It wants to stay out of all line of sights. It wants cover from all unactivated enemies. So
It
it's going
wants
to
to-
do exactly what we said.
Yeah, it's gonna go over there.
It's going to go like this.
Yep, which makes perfect sense.
Exactly. And that's a 3.
Does that give it 24 inches range, though? Just keep
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it
It
will.
doesn't need 24-inch range. Oh, just for his long range, you mean?
For it doesn't have a long
In range,
bracket.
you got to measure it there. Grab
It
the
will.
measure.
No, you're good.
Be right on the cusp of it, probably.
Yeah. Yep, you're good.
You're good.
Oh, yeah.
You're well over.
Yeah.
That goes like this.
All right.
Next.
What do we got left? We got our Caesar and our Shadow Hawk.
Yeah.
The Caesar, I mean, we could try and recontest with the Night Sky, but I think we should just get out of there.
Yeah. Does he just stay in cover completely?
Yeah, I mean, he's not visible right now. The Night Sky can't see him. Anybody coming down?
The Black Knight doesn't really have a shot either.
The Sagittar would be able
Who are
to
you trying
if
to
it.
move here?
Caesar.
Caesar.
I think if we just adjust him, basically take this turn off, that provides him cover from the Night Sky.
If the gunslinger comes down to play with us, we can shoot back, but we'll have our movement.
Yeah.
And these assault mechs would have to come. Yeah, we're good.
All right. So the next up is going to be we're gonna have to move 2 here, Paul, because
Yep.
we're up a mech still. So it's going to be the Sagittaire.
Sagittaire. Under the Juggernaut profile, under aggressive, if you can move into base-to-base contact with the nearest activated enemy.
He can't.
Cannot. So he's going to go to balanced. If the unit deals greater damage than armor of the year of any activated enemy within 30.
So yes.
Yeah, be
Yes.
the rifleman.
So,
Or of any, yeah.
line of sight to any activated unit that's nearest within 30.
Rifleman.
Okay. Move towards target and wants to stay out of as many enemy lines of sight as possible. Cover from all other enemies.
That'd be very easy. He would probably
Yeah.
just march this way, pointing that way. I mean, it would be rough because he'd be theoretically exposing himself to the Shadowhawk, but I imagine the Shadowhawk is...
Does that give him cover from the dropship?
Yep.
Here would, probably.
Yeah, I'd probably tuck him in
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
that Rhea carton there.
Right there. Yeah. And then the Shadowhawk can't jump.
All right. The other one we're going to move this turn is the Hellion that I believe our opponents forgot about when they moved the Caesar.
No, we just accepted it.
Okay. Fair enough. So the Hellion, if the unit can move behind the nearest activated enemy, which is the Caesar.
Yep.
The idea was that there wasn't enough space for anything.
It can't rear arc, but it can get behind us. Behind
Right, it
it,
can get
remember,
out of the forward
yes,
firing arc.
which is
Yes.
inevitable here.
So, in fewest enemy line of sights, cover versus most enemy, occupy woods, or partial cover is as good as occupy woods.
Yep.
So we're going to basically just, yeah. All right.
And what's his mod?
His mod's a 3.
I don't have one.
I don't have a 1.
We might have stolen your 3 from you.
Yeah, I've got one. So.
Oh, our 3 is inexplicably on the Night Sky, which should have a 2.
There we go. That makes sense.
Wow.
That fast Night
Wow.
Sky.
There,
All right.
It was just a mistake, I swear.
there you go. All right, to you guys.
All right, and then the Shadowhawk. It's our last mech. Where do we want to put it? We could put it here. That would be funny, but that's right within the Thug. We could move it behind the Thug, but then we'd be taking a shot from the...
Yeah, it's not doing any damage to the Thug, and this is the last turn. Can he overheat? No, he's a Shadowhawk. I know, no, there's no way.
Because it's already moved, yeah. That being said, the Black Knight is double overheated. It's going to have a hard time hurting us.
Thank you very much.
Well, who's more likely to blow up, the Black Knight or the Sagittarius?
The Thug.
The Thug? Really?
Yep.
Yeah, Thug's in worse shape.
Thug is not.
The Thug is
Thug's
not.
not touched.
Sorry,
You're right. The
the
Thug
guns-
isn't touched, but the
Gunslinger
dropship's
and
online.
the
It's
Sagittaire
It's
are.
the gunslinger.
Right, the gunslinger's going to move.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. Even based on the damage statistics you gave me for that dropship, it's not going to take the Thug.
Okay.
No.
It might be the Thug's only target, though.
All right, well, then tell you what. We're going to jump the Shadowhawk. If he's there, he can twist to hit either of them?
No, there's no twisting.
Well, but this, like, they're not behind.
Yes. It would be able to. Yeah, it would be able to shoot either.
So we'll
one.
see what happens.
All right, so throw
Alright,
two
so
on
that
that.
changed the gunslinger, because the gunslinger would have probably gone for the Caesar otherwise. So, sniper, it's going to, if the ideal blue is active and within 24
So
inches.
again, for those who just joined
Oh,
us,
it's actually
you're going to go to the blue column on the command deck and determine what those priorities are for the AI.
Yeah, so ideal blue then is going to be least armor.
So least
So
armor.
what on there is stripped or in structure?
On the board and on the hole?
Yeah,
Caesar.
Caesar is stripped, Enforcer is stripped.
Okay. So ground move, cover versus most enemy, target at medium. So further down the is going to be highest TMM, which they're a tie. No, Caesar. Sorry. Caesar is a higher TMM.
Yes.
So he wants to move towards the Caesar.
Yeah. So he wants cover versus most enemy. He would like his target at medium range, his target to have no cover, and he would like to occupy woods.
He's going like he can't get that far.
What's his movement?
6.
He's a 4/6
6.
He's going to go like
Woods
there.
is cover.
or 6/4. I mean.
He's going to get to like here
He doesn't want to do that
because he wants a clean
He's going
shot.
to step right there.
Okay.
Yeah, he wants a clean shot at the Caesar, but
Yeah, I don't think he's
nothing
going to get that clean shot. But
He steps here, like so. He's got partial. He's out of
Yep.
line of sight from the dropship,
yep.
and he's good. And he moves for a 1. If you guys
Yeah.
got a 1
else.
over
I think
him.
he could take a step.
I think
Yeah,
we're out
whatever.
of my 1.
Yeah. Plus, I'm holding on to a couple
I think
more.
he could take a step further and have no cover from the Caesar.
You'll
Yeah.
have to assign it a role, Andrew.
Paul?
Sorry, I'll
I
answer your
think he
question.
could take a step further and have cover from the Caesar because that is the priority.
He wants to
there.
stay out of line of sight of the dropship.
Yeah, that's the main goal here.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we are in shooting.
So fire away.
Do we want to fire the big gun
Fire
first or at the
away.
end?
We always want to do the most damage first.
Oh, we do.
right?
Well, then we're going to have to start gathering dice.
Yeah. So what we discussed with this is that the dropship is just going to have one big volley, which is not precise. So it's going to
Which should probably fire first, and then you guys pick it up, clean up
Exactly.
the mess, right?
So it's not going to be a terribly skillful shot because it's not really built for this kind of up close work. So it's going to be skill 5. But we said that basically because of how much firepower is on a spaceship, it's basically going to be all the dice in the game. So separating them out is going to be a bit of a pain later, but I think that's going to be the most fun. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take all the dice from next to Paul, and we're going to pour them into this tray over here. In fact,
I'll roll against myself.
Yeah, let's pour. Yeah, let's do some of these. And the target is probably the Thug because it's out in the open.
It's going to only fire one thing.
It can only. Yeah, I mean we're not going to overcomplicate it with a split fire.
yeah.
We're hoping that what's going to happen is the Wobbies are going to see that the ship is online and that these Davians are now well
So he's going to be at base 5, medium range 7, partial cover 8, thuggy.
no
move for
partial cover for the Thug. The Thug
the
is
Thug?
out wide in the open.
1. So he's going to be
Elevated.
thug move for 1. So he's on 8s.
Yeah, he's on 8s. So we're looking for.
Yeah, you know what? Okay.
I'll count all the misses here. So that's a miss.
What are those?
All the dice in the game.
Uh-huh.
I thought it would be fun to put them all into one tray,
That's a
but this is
miss.
going to work too.
Well, there's some shared colors.
Miss.
So anything above an 8.
Yeah, anything above an 8. That's easy. That's a hit. That's a miss.
Why are we counting misses when we don't know its top threshold?
We already put 8.
We do know it's top threshold.
So that's 1,
We know how many dice we
2,
have in these trays, and then we're just going to count afterward.
3,
Miss.
4.
Hit.
That was a 5.
Miss.
Okay.
4, 5. So I got 5 hits on my side.
8.
8
13
hits on.
points of damage.
Yeah.
Does that kill the Thug?
No.
Does it crit the Thug?
It should crit it at least.
Yes, it does credit.
11.
11. That's an engine hit on the Thug.
So the dropship powers up. Everyone scatters a little. It launches a volley, but the Thug is still standing like Wile E. Coyote.
Thug has one structure.
Which makes sense, actually.
And you said it was fire control or engine?
Engine.
Engine.
Yeah. So it is.
Andrew, one step at a time. The game hasn't even been released yet, buddy.
It is as messed up as it could possibly be without dying. I think that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sort of suits our luck.
Yeah.
As well.
No. That makes perfect sense.
But,
All right,
yeah.
let's do some normal shooting. Does the Enforcer have anything at long range?
Good question.
Because
It should have a ghost rifle or an ear or
No,
a
it's a
laser
base
and
model.
Yeah.
It's AC 10 and lower.
Well, then I'm going to measure just in case. If this is within 24, it's not.
Not even close.
Okay. All right. So then the Enforcer doesn't have anything to shoot with. The Rifleman will actually the Rifleman can see the Black Knight, which would make more sense to shoot the Black Knight because it's behind it.
It can't see the thug, right?
Can't see the Thug. The Shadowhawk, I feel like we should try and pick up the kill on the Thug just
Probably.
for style reasons.
But Rifleman on the Black Knight from the back. Then.
Yeah, Rifleman on the Black Knight. So 4 dice, I think. At
3
medium.
dice.
Oh, 3 dice?
So 4, 5, 6, 7. Partial cover is 8.
8, yeah.
8s.
8s. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So hold on. I don't know. Dice are all. So throwing 3, looking for 8s.
Stop shaking.
Hey. I should do that. 2 hits.
3
3
hits.
hits.
Okay.
3 hits on the Black Knight.
Oh,
Yep.
shoot, and rear. That's why you said 4 in it.
That's why I said 4. Yeah.
Get 1 more.
4 hits.
4 hits.
Okay.
Okay.
Marauder. Probably do the same.
Can't see the gunslinger?
No, it doesn't matter. We want to.
Okay.
And no, it can't see the Gunslinger. The Gunslinger moved accordingly.
Yeah, okay. So that is also 7s?
Yeah,
4,
everybody's
medium,
excited for
8.
Corindy. You guys are all going to enjoy it when it finally lands.
Boom.
Okay, 2 more hits.
2 more hits on the Black Knight.
Now, end of the game. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
I can
Now,
roll
yeah.
again. Yeah.
The Caesar into the Gunslinger.
Motivated by the dropship.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a morale boost, right? They now have cover.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It moved to make it clean specifically, so 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
It moved to make it a clean shot, so we're gonna respond in kind.
Yeah. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits.
Into the Gunslinger.
Into the
Okay,
guns.
roll
Critical.
crit.
Come on, boxcars. Nope.
7 movement.
Movement.
That's fire control and movement hit. That's still good.
Yep.
So everything's fire except the Shadowhawk. Do we want to pick up a kill on? Try to pick up a kill
Yeah,
on
of
the?
course.
All right. So 2 shots. Did we jump or did we just walk?
We just walked.
Okay, we just walked. So skill 4,
4, 5, 6, 7.
7s. If we rolled a single 7, we got the Thug. We got the Thug.
A
All right.
crit completely
Yeah.
unnecessarily.
So we got it down at least 1 mech, or we've actually lost.
Yeah, that's it for your shots.
All right.
Yep.
Well, we're not playing. It's the cards.
Yeah, it's the cards.
Yeah.
We're the ones who can lose. You guys are immune to victory or defeat.
Well, realistically, we are the AI's personality here.
Well,
so.
realistically, we're all just having fun, right? The most important part of Battletech is
we're
the
having
journey.
fun. They seem to be very distressed.
Okay. What do we got
But-
going here?
All right, first thing we've got to fire is the Black Knight.
All right.
4 dice and all that.
Yeah, 4 dice. So Black Knight is within 6 inches. No, can't fire at anything within 6. Within 24. Yes. So red on the command list. It can't rear fire on anything. Red is going to be highest PV, which is the Caesar.
Can't see the
Can't see the
Caesar.
can't see the
Can't
Caesar.
see the Caesar.
Caesar. I don't
Okay.
think you can see anything.
Is the Marauder in
Who's
front of it?
Black Knight?
Black Knight.
You can fire at the Marauder.
Yeah, it should be able to fire at the
It's
Marauder.
front order. It's front arc.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Whoa,
So-
minute. Not even close.
All right. So Black Knight, skill 3. We are medium range. Would bring it to
3, 5,
5,
6s.
6s. So hold on a second, though,
TM.
Paul,
7 plus a partial cover.
because he was overheated
Who's got
last
partial
turn.
cover?
Oh, true.
So
Marauder's not partial cover.
So it would be 8s because he was overheated last turn.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And now his target number?
So if TN 7 or less,
Just not.
which it's not, so we aren't going to worry about overheating. So we will throw the full set of dice.
Can't get any internals or anything like that?
Nah, Marauder's pristine.
Pristine? Okay. So 8s. 1.
One.
The baby blue dice hit.
Okay.
All right, next.
All right. Next up, we would then have the Thug.
Yep.
So the Thug's Death Rattle, I mean, the Thug only has one target anyway, I believe.
It could shoot the Enforcer based on how it moved, but it's probably shooting the
Shadow
Attack
Hawk.
by an ally this turn, and then rear. What's he in the back of? He's in the back of
nothing.
Neither.
Back
So
and
it's
nothing.
It's yellow
Goes
on the
yellow.
command list, so most structure lost is the Enforcer.
Yep. Okay.
Okay,
How many
yeah,
dice you
Yeah,
got?
try it.
It's 2 dice along.
Yeah. All right.
Skill 4.
4, it's clean.
4,
So
8,
4, 8, 9.
9s. Lynnvander dice. Ooh, close with no scratch. A lot of 4s.
All right.
All right.
Hits the launch platform.
Okay. Then we are on to the... Where am I here? Fired the Black Knight. I did not fire the Gunslinger yet. Sorry about that. We are the Night Sky next.
Night Sky is all the way over there.
Whereas Grayson Carlisle calls it the Night Ski for reasons. Sorry, I'm looking on the wrong side. So for the Night Ski, within 6.
Nothing.
Doesn't have. Within 24. Rear.
Yeah, the Marauder.
Right.
Okay. So...
Speaking of Grayson Carlisle.
He's 2 dice plus 1 extra pair for rear, right?
Yeah. Can he see the Caesar, though?
No.
No.
No. Okay. Then it doesn't go into the next strike. So Marauder. We are skill 3. Or sorry, skill 4.
Skill 4?
3 pairs of dice.
You're clean. I think you when you moved, you were
shot,
clean.
Yeah, clean shot.
Yeah. So 4, it should be 7s.
7s with
Boom.
3 pairs.
Yeah, it's 3 hits.
3 hits.
3 hits.
3 hits on the Marauder.
9, 11, and 7. All right, next.
Okay. Next would be the Sagittaire. So the Sagittaire,
Which is here.
Yes. Is it within
For our
physical?
viewers.
Or sorry, it's not within physical range. Within 6 inches.
No.
It's
no.
only got the rifle.
Within 24.
Yep.
Most armor lost.
Dice.
It's the Rifleman.
Yeah, there's no other target.
All right.
How
So
many dice is that?
it's going to be at medium range 4.
Yep.
But hold on, we got to figure out the target number because it might be overheating. So the Sagittaire is a 4.
5, 6, 7, 8 because of partial.
There should have been partial cover. I
8?
think I bumped it.
Okay. So
We
yeah,
were moving with the intention of
that partial cover changes things.
Yep.
So if it was without partial, it would be overheating by 2 because of TN 7.
Okay.
But with partial cover, then it's only going to throw the
Yeah,
5.
it's li-
I will check it out shortly after we get off the stream, okay, Beskar? All right, so we said 8s, 4 dice.
Yep.
Lynnvander, and Lynnvander, so 2.
2 hits.
8.
Rifleman
And
is stripped, but his internals are still okay.
All right. So remaining then, next up we would have the Hellion.
Yep. Which is somewhere.
He's back there.
It's back there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's sitting behind the.
Yep.
Dice he's got.
Hellion at short is 3.
Yeah.
So he gets an additional dice of 4.
Yeah. So 4 dice. So priority within 6 inches. Yes. Rear. Yes. So we're gonna go and pump into the Caesar. So the Caesar is getting fire from a skill 4 at short range. It went for 2, and there's partial cover to give us 7.
Yeah.
Target
There are
number.
no overheat on that.
And there's no overheat on a Hellion, at least not this version of the
We're
Hellion.
really hoping for some misses.
I missed with everything.
Hey.
Oh, never punished.
6, 5, 5, and 6.
It's just been a
All
bad
right.
night for rolls in the
Yeah,
Six
just
Gaming
in
deck.
general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Gunslinger's all we got left.
Yeah. Which
So
It's
it
a
will
clean
decide a win the game or lose the game.
clean shot.
So for the Gunslinger, with it's 5 dice at medium. We are within 24 inches now. Rear blue. Blue would be lowest armor, so blue is going to be the Caesar.
Yeah.
So 5 dice at medium on the Caesar.
Looking for 7s.
We have a 5, 6, 7.
no 5, 6, 7, 8, 9s. I forgot about the fire control.
Yeah,
here.
fire control
It's
hit.
9s.
5 dice
All
on
right.
9s.
No target numbers for going into internals or anything like that.
Not on a Gunslinger to overheat.
Okay, here it is. How much damage?
You need 3,
We need 3.
And we're throwing 5.
and you're throwing. Yeah.
Beskar's calling a headshot.
If he calls a headshot, that's going to be
We
heartbreaking.
need
but
3.
yeah.
We need 3 on 9s, right?
Yeah.
3 on 9s.
So what do you think, people, that I'm actually going to make this roll?
You just want to see us sweat.
Yeah. All right.
And now we go to a commercial break.
Ace just has a progress bar, right? It's at 98%.
All right, you ready?
Loading.
Here. Okay, wait. No, here we go.
Would we stop with the Windows loading?
There's
game?
one.
One.
Two. There's two.
There's two.
There's two.
Roll a crit,
Roll crit.
because you're obviously through.
This is that headshot. The
Beskar, I'll let you call it. Should I roll the blue or the yellow dice? The dark blue
Ow.
or the yellow dice, buddy? I just like watching
Roll one
Joe
of each.
sweat.
Yeah.
Lynnvander,
Yeah,
right?
there you go. For
One of each?
in Tommy's honor, we'll roll one of each.
Yep.
Okay.
This is for you, Lynn.
Now,
6.
Tommy hides in a Highlander, so I don't know how much honor that can be said. to.
6.
A weapon hit, which
5.
Does that
kill the Caesar?
yeah, which you'd think on from what I know about Caesars, there are Gauss
That would be a
rifles on
Gauss
that,
rifle,
right?
yeah,
so it
so-
could, yeah,
Is that another critical?
one would think, but we're
No,
gonna say
but
no.
not,
the
not,
way
by,
Alpha
not by
Strike
the rules of
works.
Alpha Strike. So,
All right, so
believe it or
okay,
not,
people.
the Davians eke out a win
They
by
do.
dropship.
Presumably,
So-
the word of Blake sees their odds change and have to retreat.
Yeah, that.
Temporarily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're
so-
gonna call it here. We said that already.
Yep.
If we played this out, it would probably go differently. But right now, the win by Naval PPC goes to the ridiculously overarmed
Yeah.
Aurora
Yeah.
dropship.
Yeah.
So the Aces deck here actually won the game outside of the weirdness we added
Yep.
in there with the to roll all the dice for the dropship.
we had set
We
this-
know there's proper rules for dropships. and
We'd
how they- and how
originally
they
said
take
10 dice if it had been those 10 dice.
Yeah. So we understand there's actual rules for dropships. We added it as a special flavor to have some fun because we are streaming this. The deck performed quite well, so
Yes.
I hope everybody sees how robust it is and how intuitive the deck can be at times. It was targeting and ganging up on targets of opportunity, much like you would do either in a narrative game or in a competitive setting. So, ultimately you're going to have a lot of fun, playing with your friends, playing by yourself, if that's the case, running scenarios like that come with the box sets. So you'll have a lot of fun with that. But the other thing is that you can use it really for play testing against yourself and meta testing your own lists
Yeah.
for tournaments and stuff like that.
That light fire support deck was very interesting because the light missile boat was a quite an interesting mix between being very aggressive in a striker sense, but also still playing the missile boat.
I
card.
think it was
So-
behaving properly.
It-
honestly.
yeah.
So that card we were keeping an eye out for that deck tonight when we played. We had some weird results with it in the past. I think that deck seems to be fine. It's a matter of how you interpret the cards a lot of the time with the movement, right? Always think outside the box because it's something automatically human nature is going to tell you instinctually to press when a card tells you to press, but sometimes you are pressing by not actually pressing, right? So you always have to do what's in the golden rule of aces, what's in the best interest of the unit that is trying to achieve that goal. We always are the eyes and ears of the deck.
Having
Yeah.
Henny and I here actually probably helped because a fast-moving fire support thing with missile boat like the Hellion is something we're both used to playing, which probably is why it performed well.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to necessarily have that card on an inner sphere version of a mech like that, like say a Locust 2M, because that way you're losing at short range more than you would be here. When you have something like Clan LRMs, or that would be like a phenomenal pair for an ATM-based light mech, because as it's getting closer, it's getting more damage out of the ATMs. It's kind of loosely calculated into the Alpha Strike numbers. Sometimes it gets into the breakpoint, sometimes it doesn't. So, I mean, for something like the Hellion, yeah, that's actually a great card.
And similarly, if you have inner sphere mechs like that, which have much more clearly defined roles, there's nothing stopping you from switching up the role.
Yeah, if you're or if you
Well,
know
this is
you've
what
got
I'm
the
just
2M.
like. Folks may remember we had, so this was a
2B,
different
sorry.
Sagittaire last week because we had Precentor Geist fighting the Mech 7. Today we ran this Sagittaire as a Juggernaut. Last week we ran it as a Sniper. Saw very different behaviors.
Yeah.
Last week it was really choosing firing lanes and poking at people and forcing mechs into cover.
Yeah.
Today it charged in there and was hunting down targets, exposing itself. Same mech, same Alpha Strike card, but giving it the different role. And Aces meant it performed differently, both for your narrative purposes or just for the force that you want to build.
We also changed up the cards on the Gunslinger, going from the missile boat version, because this version is not a missile boat like the one last week was equipped with the LRM-15s.
Right.
Alrighty, so Any final thoughts, guys? We'll get things wrapped up
I think those
here.
were our final thoughts, actually.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
it was a fun scenario. I really liked it. I actually liked that we did kind of throw a skifter into the deck with the dropship.
Makes up for about the 50-point disparity we had.
But that was part of the fun of the theme, right?
I mean,
like without the
It
dropship,
nuked
the
a
Davians
thug.
were
That's
doomed.
41 points
without
right there.
main
so-
characters, the Davians were doomed.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I want to make sure everybody, it's very important, like and subscribe. Helps get things going here. We get these studios are looking better. Wait till you see the Dungeons and Dragons studio when it's finished. Wow, is all I got to say. It's looking really cool. We thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be back next Sunday. Always, again, if you're local in GTA, Henny and Jo are running games up at Sir Games a lot in Barrie every Monday night for Mercenary Mondays. And
Yeah, come
Jesse,
see the new shop.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And Jesse is running games every Wednesday at Harry Tarantulas for the weekly Wednesday Armored Combat. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys next week, same time, 6 o'clock.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you for choosing us over Sports Bowl.
Yeah.